Happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, the podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going good. It'd be fun to see if you can edit out that smash of the
mic.
I went like this and yeah,
right there. Well, it's ingrained into the podcast now. There's no way to remove it. Editing isn't a thing.
At least there's no tech issues because talking's fine. We were just on the As Always podcast, and it turns out laptops don't like being moved geographical location.
The weirdest thing, it's just moving, like the laptop is self-contained. It doesn't know where it is per se.
Right.
Like, you know,
but
move it suddenly doesn't work.
We use it to talk to each other across Discord every now and then, and then I use it minimum once a week on Discord because I got like an online game that I play. Yeah. So I'm using it all the time. So it works. It works for sure. Just not when we need it to.
When we need it for this one thing that we
Tech
need
issues.
to do. Tech issues galore.
What about you, man? How are you?
Bro, I'm doing fantastic, actually. Things been going good. I haven't had much gaming actually in this week, which has just been super busy and stuff like that. But I did play some Halo, which we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Yes, you did.
But life has been pretty decent. Like, nothing bad has happened, which... You know when your life is like really bad?
Yeah.
It gets to that low point, and then it's like, all I can hope for from here on out is just nothing bad to happen.
Right.
And that's just your constant life. Just,
Standard,
just thinking about that.
What would be on the docket, though? If you had time to game and you weren't going to stream, let's say, what would you be playing?
I do want to play more Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I do want to play more Death Stranding. I feel pissed that I haven't been able to do that. It's been... A few TV shows have come out, so I've been dedicating my time to that, and it's something I can do with Squid Game.
Oh yeah,
Squid Game has been really, really fun. I do like that too. Finished it off, and it's quite good.
You said a few though, or is it just the Blu-ray collection of Smallville?
It
totally is.
I was gonna say watching Smallville. Do you know what? I paused Smallville actually because I'm gonna get the 4K collection coming soon. It's on the 19th of October.
How are they gonna do 4K for the original season though?
Thing is, I don't know if it is going to be 4K for those. I think it's probably going to be upraised to like 1080p. And that's about it.
It's not native.
For those of you guys that don't know, this isn't a drill. The Smallville box set, Blu-ray box set, is available now in the UK. It wasn't for the longest time, but it is now. £180. Fair, I think. Fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's available for you to go get right now on Zavvi. Yeah, you should go check that out. What have you been up to this week?
Not a huge amount of gaming.
Yeah.
Every time I sit down and I have some time to play, I think about booting up Kenna.
Yeah.
And then I jump on Apex Legends.
I
just haven't been called back to Kenna. And I want to...
The last one you said it didn't call to
Yeah,
you.
I wasn't vibing with it. And I think that for me to have a fair opinion of it, I need to get at least, I'm going to say like another 2 hours of game outside of boss fights, right? Like if a boss fight's you're really struggling on it, that doesn't count. But like get into the game, explore it, let it develop a bit more. But as of right now, I don't really feel called back to
that really
to
sucks,
play
man. That really sucks.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's good, and I see that there's stuff there. It's just not doing it for me. I don't feel, like I said, called back to it. But I am going to give it some more time eventually.
Okay.
But I've also rekindled this competitive thing. Like you, I was like, I'm not really into FPS games anymore. And then I don't know, I jumped on a few games. I think I mentioned it last week. So what's that, like 2 weeks ago now? And I am enjoying the competitive nature of stuff again. That's fun. But it's not really true gaming.
Nah, not true gaming.
Right.
Come on now. True gaming is a story.
Exactly. I'm actually, bizarrely, kind of looking forward to Horizon
really?
1 Dawn.
Horizon 1 Dawn.
Yeah, just because I'm in need of a new story, something that I haven't played before. Because Ghost of Tsushima, believe it or not, can't be played infinite times back to back. The story doesn't change enough.
I was gonna say
unless they bring out a new island.
The way that now it's another island, E2 island.
Right.
I was gonna say the way that you talk about it, it seems like you can play it forever. But that is true.
If they gave me 1v1 duels, which is why I'm excited for Die by the Blade.
Oh yeah, that game. Yeah.
Which I'm just gonna imagine, in my head, it will be.
It's like, this is Ghost of Tsushima, this is Ghost of Tsushima. Oh my god.
But I'm excited for Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah? How come?
Yeah, because I'm... you being an optimist has kind of rubbed off on me. And I'm kind of... like, you rub off on me a lot.
I do rub you off frequently.
A little bit of me is optimistically hoping that Aloy will actually have some character in her character. What are you doing?
The mic started to
for
some reason, so I need to adjust it.
So a bit of me is hoping that Aloy is actually well written this time.
Right.
And I'm hoping that the writers will see the obvious way in, which is that this is brand new for everybody, which the whole of Horizon Forbidden Zero Dawn was all new to Aloy, but now I'm hoping because they have a game and they're going to a brand new area and it's like tropical and stuff, that they'll be like, oh yeah, this is new to everyone. Like, let's have some wonder and amazement in here. Plus, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I just haven't played it before. It's a brilliant aesthetic, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. But I have to say that I'm not super optimistic about it. I'm just looking forward to having something else to play.
All right.
And obviously, God of War's the big one. But
it's gonna be so good. Let's make this a God of War podcast.
Oh, let's do it
like we do all the time.
What about you, man?
Yeah. I'm obviously looking forward to God of War Ragnarok. I could talk for days and days and days about them, but I'm not gonna. I've always been looking forward to Horizon Forbidden West, but that's not really new to me. Do you know what? There is something missing from my hype for Forbidden West. I don't know if it's because I'm still salty about the fact that it's not a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe if it was that, then I'd be all up on it right now. But there's always that nagging feeling in the back of my head that this could have been better, even though I have no proof of what could have happened, or we just don't know how this could have gone.
Right.
It's...
I mean, even little things like, it makes sense that we've seen that she has like a weird hollow ladybug glider.
Yeah.
But if it was a PS5 game, there could be an entire flight mechanic to it,
Perhaps.
to the world, and that probably can't be done on PS4.
Maybe.
Just little things like that where you're like, if this was PS5, could we be doing this differently? You know, could it be like a giant, I was going to say a Pharaoh, but it's not, I mean like a pterodactyl.
Pokemon.
Yeah, pterodactyl. Like you could get on a pterodactyl and fly that across.
Yeah.
But I doubt you can do that in this game, but maybe if it's a PS5 game, you could. Do you have that same reservation? I know I do for God of War.
I have a slightly different reservation for God of War. It does look very similar to God of War.
Yeah.
But then again, I think to myself, like, why would they have changed what was already really great?
Right.
And also changing something that drastically without reason is just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, we were theorizing like what other places they could go. Maybe they could visit like Egypt or something like that, which is possible for like a few chapters in the game or something like that. But at the end of the day, you'd have to start off again at the Lake of the Nine.
Right.
That'd have to be a focal point because that's the travel room and stuff like that. So it makes sense that it's set there because that's where his home is. That's where they've grown up, and that's crucially where Thor's gonna come looking for them when they come to beef. So it's not really. I don't feel the same way about that.
I just had a story mechanic for how, because they said that this is now God of War cast. Really quick, just for story wise. If you can do a sixth game, but you know this is the end of the Norse saga, you've Kratos kill Thor, and then he and Atreus and Mimir go to the Lake of the Nine. They go to the tree to travel, and as they go through, Odin attacks them, and they get flung to a different realm.
Ooh.
That would be a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Although, freaking what's the name? Tyr travelled, so it must be doable.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've been playing a little bit of stuff, but not as much as we'd like to.
Yeah.
We're excited. We're both kind of excited for Horizon Zero West. No, Forbidden Dawn.
Yeah, it's. Maybe I need to see more. Maybe I need to see more gameplay or something like that. Maybe at PSX. Oh my god.
Well, that's the thing. We've seen the same. Like, I feel like they just recycled everything up until that first 15 minutes of gameplay came out. And then we've got nothing since. And like, a bit of me is like, well, how much more do you want them to show? It doesn't have to be gameplay. Just remind me that the game's coming out, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't got that. So it's a bizarre one.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of looking forward to it. Anyway, bro.
Yes, dude, bro.
Yeah.
This is the True Gamer Podcast.
That's right.
And because it's the True Gamer Podcast, we have to thank some special people over at patreon.com/Conbrosations who make this show possible and everything that we have on this channel possible.
That's right.
Because they are super bros. Those people are Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Comstock, Carol to Rivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, the Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunling, Filthy FIFA Fanatic Joe McCormack, My Juicy Lefner, the super sexy producer Sean, Big Boy Billy, and Kevin, the #1 simp. Went down the wrong hole. Oh god, of Xbox. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here.
That's right.
One thing I have been playing.
Yeah.
Halo 2.
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing this up.
I played this on Wednesday as this part of the Let's Play stream that I'm doing over on twitch.tv/Conbrosations. If you're not over there, you should go check it out. Awesome. Tell a lot of Star Wars jokes over there. It's great.
I hate it so much.
And I've just started, only a couple hours into the Halo 2, the Halo 2 that everyone talks about. And my God, is it great.
Masterpiece, isn't it?
It starts off so great. I can't speak to the rest of it. I'm imagining it's going to be just as good.
Yeah.
But it starts off so well. There was a moment where you were outed as a fake Halo fan. We started off the game and you're like, you idiot, you've been playing Halo 5.
Let me justify this.
Halo 5, what are you doing?
Let me justify this.
Here's me, pause, Halo 2 anniversary. What are you talking about?
All,
This is
right there.
I
played the OG trilogy, not the Master Chef collection. It started in the worst storytelling mechanic possible with characters you don't know telling you about what happened back in Halo 2, right? So there is the Arbiter, who you don't know exists yet, who you haven't met, and Halo Locke, not Halo Locke, Spartan Locke, who doesn't exist because they only made up to 3 games.
Who doesn't exist.
Right? And he's there hunting Master Chief because it's like a pre-Halo 5 teaser that they put back in the collection before it happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there's Spartan Locke and frickin' Arbiter. This is Halo 5. This isn't Halo 2. It cannot be Halo 2. You haven't met the Arbiter yet. He's established here. You don't know him. So you're not in the right game. But it was some shitty, crappy... I hate
Apparently it's like a teaser for Halo 5, but Halo 2... I guess it was coming out around about the time they were making the Master Chef collection. Anyway, the thing is, to me, on the outside, it didn't seem as jarring as you guys were talking about. I was like, oh, so because I'm gonna liken this to Destiny, even though I mean it's Bungie making it. When the game opens up and you see the big bad guy, you don't think, who the fuck is this guy? I don't know him. You think, okay, I'm gonna find out about this guy soon.
Right.
So it didn't seem so out of place. But you guys were all like, no, you fucking idiots.
Well, because...
fucking idiot. It's not into... Because obviously it wasn't into at the time.
Right.
And I'm like so confused. I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Because
you're playing hugging Leonardo moment.
You're starting Halo 2, right? And at this point, as far as anyone knows, in the lore and all that stuff, there's one Spartan, at least one that you ever see in the games.
Yeah.
And the Arbiter comes in this game, like 3 hours into this game. So there is a different Spartan and a character you don't know yet. This can't be Halo 2. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this isn't Halo 2. This is not how Halo 2 starts. Halo 2 starts on the ship. Anyway.
And like usual, I would ignore everything that Shep says because it's like, in Halo 1, he's like, pick up the shank, pick up the light sword thing. I'm like, you can't do that.
I did forget you couldn't do it.
You're a fake Halo fan, okay?
Yeah, but then this time I was like, oh yeah, so now you can definitely pick up the sword because I forgot where you meet the Arbiter. But like, I was like, yeah, Arbiter's in this one. That means you can use the sword and you can dual wield. Pick up double guns. You're like, yeah, I've got one. I've got one.
I've got a gun. Don't worry about me.
Bruv, pick up another one. Yeah, I've got one.
I'm cool, man. I got a gun.
Anyway, you're enjoying it. I would actually like to make a request for the intro. Doesn't have to be this one, but I want Master Chief dragging the bomb.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or something in that scene, in the awesome return policy that John has.
Yes.
because that is one of my most iconic gaming moments. I hope it was as special for you as it was.
It felt pretty damn good. I was
with the choir and
very much enjoying it. Like obviously it was a cutscene and whatnot, and I was really into it. I tried to keep my eyes glued on the screen, and it was good stuff. It was really good stuff.
I'm just trying to see when it actually came out. So it came out in Halo 2 came out in 2004.
Okay.
So that kind of cinematic. Obviously, it didn't look like that on the original.
The graphics were very much.
But you know, in your memory when you're thinking of it, it looked identical to in my mind. So cinematic. So like this was a AAA high budget. You know, think Avengers Endgame level cinematic here. Like that's gaming, man. I'm so glad you got to experience it. But I would love to see anything, whatever you think fits best. Whether it's him dragging the bomb or like catching it as it comes out the airlock, or the him falling, you know, by the core.
Yeah.
And it's something from that like 2 minutes. I would love for that to get in there, because to me it's one of the most iconic things, and you hadn't experienced it, but like so things that are in there like Hit and Run, like we've played that, you know.
Oh yeah.
Simpsons Hit and Run, we've played that. We've played God of War.
Yeah.
We played Horizon. So I was like, okay, I won't mention it. But now you've seen it. You've seen how incredible Halo is. You get why it's so special to me.
I'll remove Ghost Tsushima from the intro.
I'm not even joking.
Oh, shit.
I'll 100%. I don't care.
No problem. We'll work it out.
Because that is one of the most special things in gaming. It's so good. I'm so glad you're playing it.
Well, that's what I've been playing right there. That's good. We spoke about what you've been playing already, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I do want to make one little announcement. I'll make it around here, so like the housekeeping section here. 2 things. One, this week on the True Gamer Plus, I'm going to be asking you guys right after we're done editing this for the patrons. You guys can see this straight away. Yeah. It's going to be a post on you guys trying to convince me how good Kingdom Hearts is. I want you guys to write in. Don't kill me with how long you want to go for, but make a decent-sized paragraph to try and sell me on
argument.
Kingdom Hearts. I tried to sell you guys on Death Stranding last time, and I think I did a pretty good job. And I want you guys to do the same thing of Kingdom Hearts, because I've never understood anything to do with Kingdom Hearts. I think it'd be quite funny.
And again, 3 is the best place to start in this. It's the 7th game in the franchise.
Yes, exactly. And sort of tangentially, we're going to go into that. We're going to talk about what happened there. On the 6th of November, I will be streaming Kingdom Hearts for the first time.
Why?
I'll be doing
Why exactly?
It was our Patreon goal from back in January to do a drunk Kingdom Hearts stream, and that's what I'm going to be doing on the 6th of November. Get excited, guys! You guys wanted to even talking about haven't been able to stop talking about it. So you're getting it finally. You're going to see Drunk Eddie playing Disney Princess games.
If you guys are actually excited for that, you need to thank Ben.
Yes.
Ben Fryer, because he's the one that actually made that happen.
He did.
At the EGX meetup, actually gifted you the game.
Yes.
So you have to play it now.
Exactly, I do have to play it. Should we talk a little bit about the EGX meetup?
Yeah, we can do. Just really quickly, just to cap off Halo, I googled it. The Metacritic for the original Halo 2, 95.
That's a pretty high score.
So I just,
damn high score.
Good game, yeah.
So this past weekend, we had our EGX 2021 meetup with a bunch of our Conbrosations lads right there.
Yes, we did.
It was hella's fun.
Hecker's fun.
So much good stuff happened. Sorry for those of you guys that missed it. You guys probably saw the vlog that I made and whatnot. That's just a taste of the stuff that we got to do there. We had so much fun. It was Ben Fryer. It was Alpha Aquila. Yep. Juice. It was Dave Bindis and Alfie the cabbage farmer. All showed up to say hi.
Yeah.
And it was a great time. We got to hang out, play some games together.
Yep.
Afterwards, go catch a meal.
Have some drinks,
Exactly, go have some drinks. Shop around in the Japanese chocolate confectionaries store.
Yeah.
Those chocolates were nice. They weren't £4 nice, but they were nice. But David Bindis bought them for me. Thank you very much. Love you very much right there. And fucking David Bindis as well. He bought one of those hand-painted PS5 covers of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
he got his PS5 RDR2 cover, and I gotta say, he was the only one that bought one. If the Ghost of Tsushima one had been there, that was so clean. I was gonna get that.
Yeah.
I was gonna get that.
There's a company, Undead Gaming, I think it was called. They were there with like their hand-painted DualSense controller covers, which Ben bought a Last of Us thing on
that
as
looked
well.
clean as well.
And they had just a couple of the
PS5 plates,
because they're very hard to find those plates. And he just went, I have to have it. I have to have it. It was really good.
I'm jelly as well. Like that, it looked cool there on the PS5. Like he put his pictures in the show and tell room on the Discord. Oh my god!
I might actually put it up. I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it up on Instagram.
Do that.
I'm gonna wait until afterwards. I've forgotten to hit the timer again, like usual.
Like usual.
And there's a specific time I need to hit it again. So there we go.
Cool.
So the meet and greet was fun.
Incredibly fun.
However, we did do something stupid.
Which one thing?
Which one thing? We did a lot of stupid things. We decided to run up...
we're stupid, yeah.
We decided to run up a treadmill going in the opposite direction called Full Mountain.
The Fall Guys had like a live event, which was like a slope with a treadmill, basically, and you would run up it, grab loads of crowns or something, and put them in a thing, and the most... I don't remember what you won, but you won something, and we were like, let's go and do that. It'll be easy. We'll be able to do it. We'll go up. It's like 5 seconds or 10 seconds at most, and we'll get whatever you get, right? As we're in the queue, we get there, and one of the guys comes up, signs something, says, okay, guys, so basically you have 2 minutes. You got to go up as many times as possible. I'm like, hold on a minute. I was down for one of these things, not an endurance race. Like 10 seconds of disappointment, I do it every other night with my lady. But like 2 minutes?
I was like, whoa, 2 minutes.
Right.
Oof. Are we, did we know we could, can we do that? Can we do that?
I will also say, apart from, so like, I stumbled twice, I had 2 issues. The first one was my shoes.
Terrible, yeah.
I'm terrible.
Yeah.
The first one was my shoes came off. That was annoying. Spent half my time tying my shoes up. But I did realize that, 1, I'm old.
Yes.
And 2, like in my head, I'm still the prime me from like a couple years ago, when I was like training and all that stuff. And I'm not that. It's been 2 years of like no exercise, no flexibility, no strength training, no nothing. And so like, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. Because in my head, I'm the same active guy.
Yeah.
Can't do this.
No, it was very, very different. I did a bit of light stretching before.
Yeah, me too.
Wasn't enough.
No.
It wasn't enough. I didn't feel it at the time. Obviously, when you do the thing, you're like, oh, I'm pumped up. But when I came home the next day, I felt pains in my groin, just like from where my legs were stretched.
I definitely...
And I was like, ooh, this is not right. This is not good.
I definitely wasn't like sore like I'd been to the gym. The first day back in the gym. I wasn't that sore, but I was like, I know that I did something yesterday, and that level of activity prior to like lockdown and all that stuff, I wouldn't have noticed.
No, not at all.
We both would have just run up it and been fine.
Yeah.
But so that was stupid. We're stupid.
We
Put
are
up some of the flattering footage of me.
Oh yes, much of it. Much of
it.
But that was really, really fun. I did like the whole event. I can't wait for next year when we're like a bit bigger as well, and there's even more people, and hopefully as well we can get the As Always guys to come down. I think that'd be quite fun.
That would be good, and hopefully EGX will be a bit less mid.
That's the one thing. Like while we had fun because of the company was there.
Time, yeah.
EGX is normally a lot more packed with booths and stuff like that. I mean, last time it was Cyberpunk was even there, and that just shows you they had a massive thing. This time there was no PlayStation, there was no Nintendo, there was no Xbox, just these random little booths and some publishers every now and again on the sides. So it was very much not full.
There was still some cool stuff there, but like EGX is much more of a day out and an event. Normally it was pretty shit tier, but again, like you said, we had a lot of fun, and because everybody there had at least one thing individually that they wanted to see, there was a reason to go around the con. Next year I'm hoping that it'll be more like a normal EGX, and it'll be like, damn, if we're only here for a day, it's going to be a busy day. Because normally we would go like 2 or 3 out of the 4 days and still be like, man, have we seen everything? We saw the whole convention in a few hours.
Yeah, in a few hours, I was like, all right, this is everything, guys.
That's everything.
I played Lawnmower Simulator twice now.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Which is good fun, but...
It was good fun.
So was Stuffed, the teddy bear game. That I'm genuinely excited for.
That was a game. The premise of that game, for those of you guys that don't know about it, is you are playing as a teddy bear, which belongs to a little girl, and you are defending the little girl's bedroom from a bunch of toys and things that have come alive
gnomes and stuff like that,
from like nightmares and stuff like that. So you know how kids often think that their toys are alive and some of them are evil and stuff
Yeah,
like that. It's that kind of thing. And you're protecting your owner from it.
Yeah,
It's really quite
in like
cool.
a wave base. It's like Nazi zombies, but you're a teddy bear. And the gun, there was so much creativity in that game, like the way the guns look, what the enemy types were, stuff like that. So I'm really excited. We should actually reach out to those guys, and I think I'm going to shoot the 4Ps guys a DM of like what the game looks like, because man, it looked like a lot of fun. It looks like a great stream game. It's not like PvP, because I know they don't really play online games, most of them.
Yeah.
But it does seem like the sort of game that all of us can jump on and have fun with.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's still a PvE game,
Yeah.
but you can do it with your mates, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that will be like, become a community fan favorite is my hope.
I hope so too.
I really like the way it looked, so.
It looked really good. It looked really good. All right, yeah, and that's everything I think we're going to talk
Before
about
we
there.
get too far into it,
Yes.
this is the True Gamer podcast for true gamers. And it was specifically requested. I was going to say made possible. It's not made possible. We were cyberbullied into making it. Oh, you got it up in time. God damn it. By the guys over on patreon.com/conversations at the $5 tier, the true gamers. Who do we have to thank?
We have Jeremy Horde, Sheps' Crusty Right Nut, Catsper Coral, Isak Manny, Record Friction, Tobias Forge, please release the new Ghost album, sincerely Adam, Kevin Crow, Super Whale Ben, Joe McCormack, Diogo, Billy, Jack Nicholas, you absolute thithering thothage, aka Zacchino, Sussy Imposter Among Us moment, Eddie Fix Your Fence, Fishy, The Jackal, Max H, Cobra SS, and Albie Scory. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and this podcast going each and every week.
That's right.
Bro.
Yeah.
So as you said just a moment ago, this is the True Gamer podcast coming to everybody's eyes and ears every Saturday here at youtube.com/.
Just search for True
You
Gamer.
had to wait for me to finish before I said that.
I did mess up timing. Yeah.
Yeah, just search for the True Gamer podcast, and on podcast services around the world where you can get where we talk about all kinds of gaming good stuff each and every week. If you do find us on YouTube, if you can hit that like button, it helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
If you want to subscribe to the channel so you can get our videos into your sub box occasionally, maybe, possibly, that'd be really, really good as well. If you're listening to us on podcast services, places like Apple, rate us 5 stars down there and leave a little review because it helps us tremendously.
Actually does.
And we rise up in those ranks and more people get to see what we're doing over here. And that's really cool. If, however, you like what we do, you love what we're doing here, and you want to take your support that extra mile, you can be like one of those true gamers we read out earlier. You can head over to patreon.com/conbrosations and kick us a couple of bucks, where for that money, you can get credit on the show, like you just heard right here. You can get exclusive access to the Conbrosations podcast, our exclusive, no filtered podcast we do right here. You have the True Gamer Plus episode, a supplement to this show, and early access at the $5 tier to this podcast right here.
That's right.
And a couple of other ones if you want to show your support in other different ways. That's really cool right
So
there.
join over 50 patrons with incredible, fine, distinguished tastes.
That's right.
Over on patreon.com/conversations.
Those cool guys. However, if you guys don't want to kick us some bucks, if you guys don't want to do anything like that, that's okay. That's fine. We love you regardless. Just being here is good for us. No problem. Just hit that like button and subscribe and then sign over your newborn baby and comment below. And
Whitelist
like
the YouTube channel on your ad block.
all that sort of stuff like that, you know. But that's all cool. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. Bro.
Yeah.
Should we kick this off with your favorite segment?
Oh, yes. So, look, if you're new around here, because we just did that whole spiel, we're stupid and on the internet, and we've never let ignorance get in the way of a strongly held belief. And so sometimes we say things that aren't exactly accurate on the internet, and the best place to find out you're wrong is by putting an opinion out on the internet.
Yes.
And so we decided to make all the corrections we were getting a segment. My favorite segment that we've never missed one. It's my favorite. They always go up. But you can rely on 3 things: taxes, death, correcting conversations. Right? We've never missed one. Ever, ever, ever. Obviously. Because it's my favorite. My favorite. I've never forgotten about it. And so what you do is when we say something stupid.
I was wondering if you actually explained what it was first before saying we never missed it. I was like, did he say it or did I miss it?
I'm getting there, blood. You're like, oh, you have to actually let me wait to say the thing, and they won't let me say do my spiel.
Take 20 minutes to get into it. Go on.
Oh, are you really beefing me out in the middle of my thing?
Yeah.
What you do is when we say something stupid or incorrect, in the comment section of this video, head down there and say, actually, correcting conversations, when you said this, it's actually that, and we will read it out on the next thing. You'll be credited, so you get to be interactive with us, and we get to abuse a little bit of the YouTube algorithm because we need it. So what corrections do we have to make? And thanks for beefing me out. So professional.
You're welcome.
It definitely didn't interrupt my flow at all.
The idea that you think you have a flow. That it's not just a weird consciousness stream, just constant things bashing into each other.
How dare you?
Okay, Alpha Aquila writes in and he says, correcting Conbrosations. Also worth mentioning that Xbox has been offering game trials since before Game Pass, with some of those trials having gameplay but limited before purchase, and having full experiences through other trials. I actually had a look because I didn't know that Xbox did like game trials and whatnot. I had a look. You're bending the truth just a little bit there because they're not the same thing. The game trials that they have are like largely 15 minutes, not very long at all, and also of games that are of no consequence. Like, not being rude to anyone who makes games is far more important than what I've ever done in my life, but the games on there aren't games that people want to play. It's there because they need the advertisement for themselves. It's not like the new Halo game, for example, not going to be on any sort of game trial. Forza, not going to be on any game trial. The next whatever game, Starfield, comes out, it's not going to be on game trials. It's not going to be anything that's of any consequence. Whereas, hopefully, what PlayStation are doing over here is they're going to do...
Imagine being able to play the first 2 hours of God of War 5.
Exactly. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping is going to be going
That's what
towards.
they're saying they're going to do.
It's like they're indicating they're going that way.
Right.
We don't know yet. We're going to see, but that's what we're hoping for this whole service to be. But transparency, they do have trials. There was actually one game I saw in there that has a 24-hour trial.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's in-game or if from the moment you hit go.
Yeah.
But, however, that is there.
That's plenty of time.
It's not a game that you want to play, I'm sure. I looked at the name, I was like, I don't know what game that is. I don't know what game that is. So, yeah, there is all of that. But thank you for putting that in there because I didn't know that until you said it. There you go.
Yeah. By the way, Alpha has incredible taste in entertainment stuff. Did you be talking to him at the...
I know he loves Superman because he's a legend.
Oh, yeah. By the way, not only do people buy, like, the PS5 plates, I think that took the limelight, but some of these guys have got some incredible posters. Oh, my days. They look so good.
He sent me a picture afterwards of him, like, he put up his Metropolis one. I was like, this is great. This is just great right now. Runic Firebird writes in and he says, here's your correcting Conbrosations. So many people care about James's dog in Smash.
Yes.
Because we talked about it for all of 6 seconds.
Yep.
We could put that in a GIF, honestly.
Yeah, we could.
He was the most requested character ever. He actually was. There was a poll that he was the most requested character. And yes, I am a Kingdom Hearts fanboy. More than Tyler, for sure. I don't care what insults you throw at me. Listen, we would never insult disabled people, okay? You're human, and that's all we care about, okay?
Kingdom Hearts fan
for the camera. I'll edit this bit out, but
cool.
I don't want them to really know how we feel.
Oh, right. Oh, cool. Got it.
So
human.
That's fine.
Yeah,
you're fine, mate.
We care about you.
It's totally cool. And Alpha, sorry, Sean does say that PS Now is also on PC. I think we said we were mentioning putting certain games on PS Now and getting into the ecosystem.
Yes.
And we sort of got carried away and said PlayStation and whatnot, but it is on PC. But you get what we're talking about here. And also Alpha Quelle, one other thing, he says Horizon Zero Dawn was added to PS Now towards the end of last year. That was actually true. I would like it to be sooner than that.
Yeah, the thing we were saying about is if these AAA games or big games come onto the PS Now service, what's the time frame? And we know that games typically go from PlayStation to PC in 2 years. Yeah. So 1 year, sort of half of that, seemed like a logical place to put it, but it still feels so close. Yeah, it's too soon. Yeah. So it's a tough one. And anyway, that's what that discussion was about. If you missed it, go back and check it. Actually, that was one of our better episodes.
I'm actually worried about this episode because I genuinely feel that was one of our best conversations we've ever had. Yeah. Greatly done. The audio was all perfect. Yeah. So everything has to stack up to that, in my opinion.
It does.
No one's saying that that was amazing and this one's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I've got it in my own head that I'm doing this.
Yeah, it was one of the better ones, especially because we managed to hide the fact that we actually freaking hate each other.
Yeah, there's that.
And so it seemed like we were colleagues and friends. And obviously now it's all unraveling.
Exactly. You're seeing it live in front of your eyes. Well, not live, recorded. But
Recorded live.
Recorded live. It was recorded live.
It's true. That's a real thing that happened.
There you go.
What's our first topic, bro?
Bro, today's topics include GTA The Collection, the Definitive Edition, and how real it is. Old Star Wars games coming to current gen consoles. PSX coming back? Question mark. And the topic of the show: how Ubisoft are determined to destroy themselves by slowly making games that nobody cares about.
Are they gonna though?
They're making games that nobody cares about.
I agree with you. Sorry, let me be clear. Is that our first topic?
That is the first topic. Yes.
Let me be clear. My question is really about the base of people that they pander to.
Yeah.
Which is, you said they're making games that no one cares about is going to destroy themselves. Haven't they been doing that for the last 10 years?
Solid point. Solid point.
And this isn't just to beef out the AC community.
Yeah.
But after the Enzo Al Dente trilogy and maybe Black Flag, when was the last good AC? 2013, right?
Yeah, they slowly do like losing what made them great before, or what made them good before, whatever they had before, in the favor of trying to get more out, quantity over quality,
and trying to pander to the largest audience possible, and in fact please nobody. Exactly. Well, the reason that brings this all up is that do you remember a while ago, it was about May 2021, right?
They said they were announcing that going forward that they would be focusing more on mobile games.
Oh yeah.
And more free-to-play games.
Yeah, I do remember that. Terrible decision, yeah.
And what's really funny is they said it however they said it, because that's truly what they were feeling.
Yeah.
And then when everyone went, the fuck, we don't want any of that.
Yeah.
We don't want any of that. What you do? Wait, did you think that was a good idea?
Let me guess. That was the reaction, and then they doubled down and they're really going to do it.
No, so they are really going to do it, but they came out immediately.
Okay.
They were like, but that doesn't mean we're not going to make other games. I mean, come on now.
I remember that, yeah. That's almost exactly what they said. Yeah.
Exactly. At the time when they made that announcement, we got... Oh, no, so just before I say that bit, it's funny because that news came out shortly... The year after they launched a game called Hyperscape. Do you remember Hyperscape?
I know the name. I don't remember why I know this name.
I think I know why. Is because they paid a bunch of Twitch streamers to play it on the day.
Yes.
And it was flooded on the internet for about a week.
For all of a minute. Yeah.
And then disappeared. So it's funny that they made this comment about a year after they launched Hyperscape, which died immediately in the water, which was a 100-player battle royale free-to-play game.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they were like, we're now going to transition to this that we can't do. So it's really odd that they did that. And then shortly after that, we got rumors that the next Assassin's Creed game is also going to be like a games as service live thing.
Yeah.
Halo. Assassin's Creed Infinity, I think they were calling it. That was the rumor.
I do remember this game, by the way, yeah.
And then when we got the announcement, when they made that statement, we also got the announcement of a spin-off The Division Heartlands game, which was supposed to be a free-to-play Division game. There's also apparently going to be a mobile game port of it as well.
Yay.
Great stuff. They've also announced a Tom Clancy X Defiant game. What the fuck is that name?
They will slap Tom Clancy's name on anything. And you know what? He doesn't care because they're big enough that they just pay him a huge check and he just sits there. Actually, I think he might be dead. But
might be, yeah.
But the estate just sits there collecting.
Just cool.
Yeah, just Tom Clancy spinning in his grave.
Yeah,
you know, like,
constantly.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what the hell the X Defiant means in any way, but apparently it's described as a high-octane 6v6 arena shooter.
Okay.
I don't even know if many people know what Octane is, but there you go. Apparently in shooters, we all know.
It's got a lot of it.
It's got a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's high.
It's high in Octane.
And now, today, they have announced Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Frontline. The most generic name sounding.
It really is, yeah.
And they're just besmirching the Tom Clancy name even further. Apparently, it's a 100-player free-to-play battle royale.
Yay!
I guess basically what they thought was Hyperscape. The reason why it failed is because it didn't have the Tom Clancy name on it.
That's it.
So just turn it over, change the skins, done.
this might be unpopular, but I actually thought I'd had to double check what it looked like, so I was thinking about the right game. Hyperscape is the game I was thinking of. It's sort of like Fortnite meets like almost Cyberpunks or like Mass Effect styling.
Yeah.
I actually thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
It was basically Fortnite without the building, which is exactly the bit I'm bad at.
Perfect. Perfect.
If any game Ubisoft put out, it is Ubisoft, isn't it? Yeah. If any game Ubisoft put out was gonna do good, it should have been this one, and that's the game they should have focused on. And instead, they just let it die after the first week.
Yeah.
And then put out things like Far Cry 6, which looks like it came out in 2006. Like, is that where the naming system comes from? Yeah, we'll just aim for 2006 graphics. It will be fine. Like, that's the game they should have focused on. I actually thought it looked all right. I was considering playing it at the time, but I forgot that it had come out because I haven't heard about it because they didn't market it. And I'm not trying to help Ubisoft be successful.
No.
They're a
terrible company.
Terrible company. However, I think recently, I think it was James's tweet that's allowed me to sort of like not have to always beef out Ubisoft. We know they're the devil, but like, what is the product that they're making? And it's showing you that the product is made by a shitty company because it's a shitty product. But that Fast Hyperscape game looked like it was the right thing. It was the right move. That was the game that they could have blended all of this stuff in. It could have been like fun battle royale, which is popular. They could have been on mobile. Like, people play mobile Fortnite and Call of Duty and stuff. I don't know why, but they do.
Weirdos.
Like 100 million people or something ridiculous on Apple devices alone for Fortnite, right? So they can't make any decisions right. Should we do sexual misconduct in the office place? I don't see why not.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Let's do that, guys.
Like, that guy had some great ideas. Let him make decisions for the games we make. Like, I don't know. It's a bizarre one. Ubisoft's such a...
They're determined to kill themselves because, honestly, like, the backlash that they got, enough to make them change their statement from we're making free-to-play games and mobile games to actually we're still going to make other games, guys, buy those.
Right.
Should have been enough to tell you that you shouldn't, this is a dangerous path to go down.
Yeah.
As well as that, I just forgot as well that Far Cry, apparently when Far Cry came out, they announced that was going to be the last traditional Far Cry, that the next one was going to be a games of service as well.
Right.
And I was like,
well, for one, almost, I guess, thank God, because they're phoning it in.
Right.
I guess. Right? I haven't played it. I'll be honest with you.
A lot of people have been saying it's been terrible.
That's the thing. Not games journalists who cannot trust, but actual people.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of people saying, like, I only last a few hours. It's not interesting. It's not entertaining. The best thing about it was the adverts.
Yeah.
Which the thing I'm really sad about is I'm a big fan of... one Despacito, Giancarlo Burrito.
Despacito.
Exactly.
Despacito.
Yeah, Giancarlo Despacito, I think it is. No, Esposito. Yeah,
Esposito.
Is an incredibly talented actor. I really like him. I think he's a great villain. He's just great.
Yeah.
And I bet he's given an incredible performance just because I like him anyway, even if you didn't like his performance. I vibe with him. And I'm really sad that potentially a great villain, great character isn't going to get the screen time that he deserves as an actor because it's in a trash game. And that's sad. But I mean, if Ubisoft are just phoning it in, fine, let them change tack with whatever they do, but I'm gonna put my money on it's still shit.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be quite terrible because that's just their thing now. That's what they do.
Yeah. I
did have that Vice article from this guy. It says Far Cry 6 is creatively and morally bankrupt. This isn't a review of Far Cry 6 because honestly I can't play this shit anymore. It literally says that.
It literally says that. Yeah.
Apparently it's just really terrible and just awful.
I did see a bunch from games journalists who you would think who like you can't trust, right?
Yeah.
But for them to say, I just could not play this. I got about 6 hours in and put the game down.
That's really fucking telling.
You're like, man, most of you guys can't even get 6 hours in the game, so this guy put in work.
Yeah. A couple of things.
Yeah.
One, why Ubisoft? Why are you doing this to yourself? You have a rich history of like playing of single player games. You have some half decent IPs that you could heavily invest into and actually make good. But you are choosing to go the half-assed route and also go the route of chasing the trend when you shouldn't be chasing the trend. You should be trying to anticipate the trend.
Yeah.
You're getting
Or
into
set
battle. Exactly. You're getting into battle royale after the battle royale hype is dying.
Right.
This is, people are looking for other things other than like Warzone and Apex and Fortnite. They're looking to see if they can quench their thirst on something else. And you're trying to get into it now?
Right.
Even Halo isn't doing a battle royale, and that would be arguably probably the best shot a new battle royale could take because it has the Halo name attached to it.
Right.
But it might not be good, but at least it will have the fairest shot. You're coming up with Hyperscape and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Frontline, and you think you're gonna fucking nail it? Really?
Yeah, I don't see it.
That's
I don't
just
see it.
so dumb.
Again, it just seems like the business thinking at Ubisoft is, how can we get the most out of doing the least possible? What almost dead trend can we jump on now that we haven't jumped on before? And how can we bilk our customers out of money, right? Like, we'll make Valhalla just impossible to play without buying XP boosters, right? And, oh, well, these big games are successful. Oh, they're big games. Our game doesn't have that much content. Just chuck a load of fetch quests and shit in there. Let's really waste some time.
A lot of markers on the map. That's how it works.
Right, let's really just waste people's time. And that will be the same. That's what The Witcher 3 did, right? It just wasted people's time. Just copy that. Like, no, that's not how this works. So, I think because we kind of do gaming news, right? We do games relevant stuff. We'll have to talk about them. I would like it. In my chosen reality, there is enough gaming news that we never mention Ubisoft again until they do something interesting, right? Until they do something that actually is like trend setting. Like, hey, this is a different take on a battle royale. This is a different take on a thing. Like something new. Even if it's just a new, like Apex brought out the ping system. That was new. That's in the org. You know, something that's just not been done before and is going to become the way things get done. Then let's talk. I want to actually say good things about Ubisoft games. So many of our guys love the older AC games.
Yeah.
And
But it just feels wrong to say because of everything that's
right.
going on.
But forgetting the company, like I always feel bad that we're always bashing like the more recent AC games in the company, because it kind of feels like we're bashing our dudes, saying that like, oh, well, if you like this, then you kind of have supported these dudes. Like they all feel bad about it, you know, and they all love those old games so much sadder because the new stuff sucks. Then, you know, we don't feel bad about it. We don't care about the games really.
Yeah.
And I really want to be like, oh, finally some good news from Ubisoft. They've like fired all their sex pests. That would be good news. I'd love for that to be a story. Or like, you know what? Despite everything that happened 2 years ago, they've come out with this new thing. It's really an interesting idea. They're working really hard. It looks like they care. Yeah, there might be some microtransactions, but it looks like they're done right. We're never going to say those words. Ever. I wanna, but Ubisoft just is determined to, like you said, either bleed it itself out or bleed its customer base dry, you know?
Yeah.
My genuine concern is that these are like the FIFA and NBA 2K guys, which is that just they're going to give you the same shit every year and you're going to buy it up.
Yeah.
Not you guys, but like the average consumer, you know?
Yeah.
You stick Assassin's Creed on it and most of those guys are going to buy it.
That's kind of what they're treating Assassin's Creed. They're treating Assassin's Creed like the Tom Clancy name.
Yeah.
They feel like they put it on it, put it in a new setting on new thing.
Yes.
It's like, there we go. It's going to sell, right? Because it has that name.
That's actually a really good way to put it. Whereas I actually wish it would be more like the Fast and Furious franchise, which is they realized, okay, what are people actually coming for? Well, let's just add more of that. And it gets more ridiculous, but it's just kind of fun because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
I'd rather
It knows
yeah.
it.
I'd rather that.
And do you know what I think they're doing?
Go on.
I think they've done the stupid thing that every game company does at least once in their life.
Yeah.
Where they see the numbers for certain things. Like every game company has tried to do something with mobile because you look at the mobile numbers, you're like, how can we avoid all of these people? And look at the revenue that's coming in each year. We have to try something. It'd be stupid not to. We have all the resources to do it. And I think what Ubisoft is doing, they're like, free-to-play battle royale games are all the rage, or were all the rage. Look at all the numbers we got from 2 years ago. Look at all these things. Let's just pump out 18 of them, one of them's got a stick, right? One of them's got a stick, right? And all they need really is one, and it probably recoup all the rest if it hits.
Yeah.
But the thing is, all of them reek of desperation.
Yes, they do.
So then none of them attract anyone then.
Or if not desperation, hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah, but don't make it too obvious. You know, it's that. It's that. But .game.
Yeah.
.exe. Like, it's not. It's.
And like with the Hyperscape thing, so copying you mean from other people or even from themselves as well?
Anything.
I was going to say, because the Hyperscape thing genuinely in the front, Tom Clancy Frontline, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they're probably going to have some mechanics inside, but they just went, no, our mistake was literally we didn't have Tom Clancy in the name, so let's put that on there.
Like, just spitballing here, I'd rather them come out with like, okay, cool. There was actually a Battle Royale type thing where it was dodgeball.
Yeah.
Or like a snowball fight, something like that, something unusual. Or you do something, I can't think of a great example of this, but like where it's animals or something, you know, you're like freaking chameleons and your weapon is your tongue and you're like, do you know what I mean? Something completely bizarre.
Yeah.
And it's a battle royale, it's a 6v6 or something, but like do something unusual and see if it sticks.
But
like
something.
Like that stuffed game. It's made by 5 guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, we're taking the wave-based horde mode and we're just putting a brand new concept on it, like a really fun, creative concept on it. Same exact... It's Nazi zombies, right? It's all the other horde modes you've ever played, but it's cool because the creativity is in like the gun designs and the enemy designs and like you're playing in a house, so the perspective is different, even though it's the same game. You know, it's the same game you've ever played. In fact, I actually recognize the map they used. It's Kino der Toten.
Yeah,
yeah.
It feels very much
very,
like that.
it's very similar.
Cool.
But like, it doesn't matter because it's new and creative, right? It doesn't have to be the next big thing. You don't have to come up with a whole new hit game franchise. You just have an interesting concept, some creativity, and some passion. That's all
just
anyone
direct
really
copying.
wants.
That's all you do, and it's not working for you.
Right. But the worst thing is, I don't think it's hurting them too bad.
Yeah, it's
and
not,
it should be.
It's not hurting them enough.
Right, that's it. It's not hurting them enough.
It's hurting them a bit because they're like failed project after failed project, but they're not dying from it, which is the worst part.
Right.
Anyway, Ubisoft slowly killing themselves.
Yay!
At least for right now, that's a good thing. They're a terrible company. And
yes. Get fricked.
Our next topic. The GTA... there's no the at the beginning, but there are multiple the. GTA, The Collection, The Definitive Edition is real. The last time we saw the leaked logos of the game, but we actually got an official confirmation from Rockstar. They posted up a little Twitter video, 10 seconds long, coming soon. They say no release date, no gameplay, just 3 pictures reminiscent of those 3 games, the GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City, and it's real. It's officially announced.
Just to be clear, that means we brought you this news very early. We broke it again. Well done, us. Pat on the back.
You go right there.
Actually, we do that quite often. We're pretty good with that stuff.
We are known insiders.
I mean, we'll cover any rumor, so they tend to hit when they're real.
With the Ubisoft approach. Do everything.
Right.
One's bound to hit.
Yeah, no quality, all quantity.
It's coming out. We don't know anything else about it. We know that there's going to be a collection. That's all we really know about it right now. There's no other leaks or anything like that. There is one interesting leak.
Yes.
So a website called base.com, which is a website in the UK.
Yeah.
Actually a very decent website if you want to get cheap games because they usually undercut the MSRP.
Yeah.
And even on day one. So you can get decent price games there. They already list the GTA collection.
Oh yeah?
And on PS4 and Xbox One it's listed at $54.85.
Right.
And on PS5 and Xbox Series X it's listed as $64.85. Just to let you guys know what that's all about is that the MSRP or recommended retail price in the UK is £60 for the previous gen consoles and £70 for PS5 games at least anyway in the UK.
And you can typically find it different. Lower.
Exactly. So if you go to like the big stores, they're going to be at that price, maybe 1p less is what they do. But this website can frequently cut £5 under to keep itself competitive. That's what they do. So that stands to reason that the MSRP or RRP is going to be $59 for PS4,
Yeah.
and $69 for
Nice.
PS5 and Xbox Series X. How do you feel about GTA, the collection, the definitive edition, being $70 on current gen consoles?
Not great.
Especially because you have the PS4 version, the Xbox One version over there at $60.
Yep.
What's the difference?
The number next to the PlayStation.
I was gonna say, because the point is, so it's
Yes.
on Series X as well, so it's not just a PS5 thing.
Right.
It's a port of a PS2 game, a remake of a PS2
Yeah.
game. Is it gonna have anything different for the PS5 and Xbox Series X?
No, it won't. Almost certainly not.
Yeah, because it's not like they're gonna go like the game's a PS2 game, so it's
And
gonna be
now
4K.
with haptic feedback.
Yeah, they're not going to go that far, I'm
3D
sure.
audio.
Or even if they do, it'll be light rumbling packs or something
Right,
like
right.
that. But this game is large. I think it's probably going to be exactly the same on PS4 and Xbox One as it's going to be on PS5 and
Yep.
X Series X. So why the extra cost?
Because it's on next gen. It's on current gen, I guess.
This is a disc, and it's got the white label there.
I'm sorry.
It says PS5.
Because it's Rockstar and they want your money.
Yeah,
They want your money. They've been spoiled by GTA 5. I will say on that note, at least it isn't GTA 5 again.
At least that's
Right? It's
one
three
good
other
point.
GTAs that aren't GTA 5, which is good. Weird.
It's a weird one. They're not gonna put in like 3D audio or anything like that from a PS2
They're never
remastered
doing that,
game.
yeah.
They're not gonna put in like dedicated haptic feedback. So
That's
like
never happening.
all the guns aren't gonna get their own dedicated feel on them or anything
Let
like
me
that.
put it to you
There's
this
gonna be
way.
ray tracing.
No.
There's not gonna be anything like that.
Let me put it to you this way. One, almost certainly, they will make it so that the games are different, i.e., it will be like FPS capped on the PS4 one. So if you get the PS4 one and put it in your PS5, you
That'd be
1080p, 30
extremely
FPS.
shitty.
Yes, it
could
would.
you imagine? Because I bet you could get those PS2 games to run 60 FPS
Oh,
on
for
PS4.
sure.
On PS4, surely you can get that done.
Absolutely. And, oh God, what was my other point? It was a really good one. Oh no.
And also, that's not enough to charge for that.
No.
I mean, if you got a bunch of other features like built into, like, let's say that the DualSense controller, like
Yeah.
stuff like that, where you have to have somebody pay someone to actually fine tune it and script it and code it
Yeah.
and whatnot, different situation. But not like we're gonna cap it,
No.
and then we unlock it.
Here's the thing, we're not getting ray tracing stuff. I think I said this when we heard the leak, that my biggest sort of fear for GTA Vice City, which is my favorite one, is that their license for the music will have run out. When it also won't be a stream friendly game with that music. They'll have to have a different setting, whatever.
Yeah.
But they won't have all of those iconic songs where you're driving around Miami with that incredible 80s soundtrack. And so if they're not going to re-up that music, which that isn't confirmed, I just very highly suspect that they won't, it'd just be too expensive, then they're not giving us 3D audio, they're not giving us remastered graphics, like remastered graphics, you know, like is it a remake or a remaster?
Right now we don't know.
Yeah.
It's a collection, but it's probably a remaster.
Yeah.
Probably
That's my suspicion. It's a remaster, not a remake, and that we won't even get all the full music. So the idea that you'd get ray tracing or 3D audio or haptic, that's just off the cards
Already.
almost certainly,
Yeah.
right? And it's coming in a bundle of 3 games for. It's not £70 each.
Yeah.
It's £70 or however much for all 3 games. So you're not getting haptic and 3D audio and ray tracing. Like,
It's just so weird.
the worst thing is I'm probably going to get it.
Yeah,
That's the bit I hate. Because I love Vice City.
I'm gonna get it. The thing that I'm struggling with, I should say, is that we don't know what the game looks like. We have to see what the difference is, if there is any. But what's stopping people then to buy the PS4 version and just playing it on their PS5? Because it should be exactly the same.
Yes, yeah.
The PS4 is 1,000 times more powerful than the PS2 was, so it should be able to run all of these games, even with updated textures, at 60 FPS, 4K even. Yeah. So
Also,
I don't understand what the difference is there.
Whatever frame blending has happened in the last couple of years,
That technology has made it.
it's going to make it look 60 FPS, even if it's not. And the fact is, it should be running 60 FPS,
Yeah.
even as a remaster. So
This is just insane. I can't wait. I'm going to be watching with bated breath. I'm going to be watching to see what the issue is, what the difference is.
I mean, fingers crossed they come out and they say, do you know what? We've made enough money off GTA 5 that we're just actually going to invest and make these games good, remind you of your childhood.
Possibly.
And yeah, I mean, maybe not like full ray tracing and stuff, but yeah, this is the thing. And you go, oh, look, PS5, actually, yeah, it will be, you know, it will run at this stuff.
Unreal Engine, we've upgraded it all.
Right. So, I don't know, talking about Unreal Engine, why have they not made that game? Why have they not made that
demo?
Yeah, I want that so bad.
They added They added her to Fortnite.
Yes, I know.
I was like, hold on a second.
So, like, that's the thing. You're like, you're going to add her to Fortnite. So, you're really telling me this game isn't in the works? Hopefully, that's a little secret and the game is in the works.
Right?
Could you imagine? That'd be so cool.
Hopefully. All right, yeah, that's what's happening with GTA, the collection, the definitive edition.
Yeah.
Far too many of those in that.
The GTA collection of the definitive edition in the game.
I have one question for you and everyone at home as well.
Okay.
Do you think this could ever do what GTA 5 did and just be constantly sold over and over and over again for the rest of time? It's a classic.
As a collection,
I've lost it. I'll buy another one.
Yeah,
To be the problem is that no one can quantify or understand why it happened in the first place with GTA 5. So how do you even logically try and wrap your mind around trying to get it happen again?
The thing is, there's no online for it.
Yeah.
And I suspect that there's some... Well, you raised a really good point. No one can figure out why it's happened with GTA 5 because it happens with any other game. Because people are still going out and buying brand new copies, but there's likely no online components to this, although maybe that's one of the things they add.
They make an
Imagine Vice City Online, you know, or San Andreas Online. That could be cool.
Yeah.
That could be very cool. And if it's a 2021, 2022 remaster, it's going to look better than GTA 5 does right now.
It's true.
You know?
Oh, God.
Actually, shit. Imagine they do that. They're like, okay, we're not going to make a brand new GTA, but these are old GTA. People already know they like this. Let's just slap GTA 5 online, swap it to this stuff, and see if people play it and buy stuff. And if they don't, they have GTA 5 to come back to.
A Vice City themed GTA 5.
That actually is speaking to me.
That sounds good, right?
Only if I get the soundtrack, though. I don't...
Yeah, the soundtrack needs to be there.
But then you expect text from me saying, bruv, do you want to go for a drive? And it's just on GTA.
That's just
going
all
on
it
Miami,
is.
yeah, with the sun setting and stuff.
I'd play a San
And then I
Andreas.
randomly pull out a rocket launcher and blow you up.
Oh, bruv, come on, I was
What are
listening
you doing?
to that.
Oh, sorry, just spawn in a tank real quick.
Spawn 5 stars on you right there.
Right.
I'd play a GTA San Andreas skin.
Yeah. I feel like I would.
One interesting point. Apparently, this collection was at one point being discussed to be bundled in with a special collection edition of GTA 5.
Yeah.
And then they with the new version that's coming out.
Right.
So they were planning to sell GTA 5, the upgraded PS5 version, and the Xbox Series X version for the full $70 MSRP.
Yeah.
But also include this collection in that with it as well.
Right.
So you were effectively going to get the most recent GTA that they've made.
From 2013.
From 2013. With all the upgraded stuff and all of this collection, and it would have been $70.
Yeah.
And now that it looks like they're just going to sell the collection by itself for $70.
Yeah.
It just looks like they're just trying to rip us off.
What do you mean it looks like? That's exactly what they're doing.
That is exactly what they're doing, guys. Exactly what they're doing.
I love the idea that someone was like, oh, we should do this. It'd be a great, like, selling point and stuff. And then someone's like, you know what? It will be a great selling point. So much that people would pay for the bundle on its own. Let's do that. And then everybody in the room was like, yes.
You did it, James. You did it.
Well done, Mr. Welford. Good idea.
I just said James, but I wasn't thinking of him. Yeah, okay. Well, that's the GTA collection right there. Our next topic. A new report of Obsidian's Avowed has been described as The Outer Worlds meets Pillars of Eternity. Now, I'm going to read out the stuff just so you guys can get exactly like how this game feels if you're interested in that. A first-person action RPG featuring multiple classes and playstyles, two-handed combat and destructible environments, they say. Apparently, the report goes that they're currently planned to be shown this year at the Game Awards, it says.
Yeah.
along with Hellblade 2, they say, and so on and so forth. However,
yes.
do you remember when we saw Avowed?
The arrow thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We saw that at was it E3 2020? 2021?
Yeah, 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
That was when they showed off all of those games after they bought Bethesda.
And people were so hyped, and we were like, it looked cool. It was a cool cinematic. Why are you hyped?
It's an arrow. They threw it. It's an arrow.
This could be Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. That's what we thought it was at the beginning. That, and there was a bunch of other games that I vocally came out and said, "There's nothing here. What are you excited for?"
We don't know anything about it.
We don't know anything, and I got a lot of pushback. This game is apparently deep into pre-production right now.
Right.
So not even into production yet. This is still in the beginning phases.
It says that the release date is expected at late 2022.
This is the thing. That's based on rumors.
Right.
I've seen it. I saw people and they were like, "Oh yeah, Jeff Grubb says that maybe 2023." I was like, "So we don't know shit."
If Jeff doesn't know,
and also it's in pre-production still. There's still tons of work to be done.
this is the most anticipated game since frickin' Starfield. You know, like, oh wait, we know nothing about any of these games. We don't know anything.
So all of you fuckers out there that were like, "Oh, Eddie, you're just being down because it's Microsoft." Good Microsoft.
No,
there you go, right there.
I want to see. I want to see the game.
Exactly.
I want to see the game.
So dumb, right there. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because it's just so early still, and we're not going to see that game until like 2024.
Yeah.
Our next topic. Aspire, the people who are making the KOTOR remake,
Yes.
are also bringing a bunch of games to PlayStation 4, PS5, and PC.
Okay.
I'll read out their tweet exactly. It says, "We're thrilled to announce that we'll be bringing 2 new exciting bundles to PS4, Nintendo Switch as well.
Okay.
In partnership with THQ Nordic. Also, sorry, it's not PC. It's just a Nintendo Switch and PS4.
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Knight Collection and Star Wars Racer
Gaming
and Commando Combo." That's Star Wars Racer. Come on, this is pod racing, guys. This is gonna be great. Anyway, it's coming out into a store near you. It says on here. It doesn't exactly say when, but that's coming out. The interesting thing about this though is that no mention of Xbox.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
And KOTOR is not coming to Xbox, at least at launch.
So, to be very clear, what we know about KOTOR is that it has at least an exclusivity deal at launch, i.e. like sometimes you get this of like 1 month on PlayStation before it comes to Xbox or vice versa.
Yeah. The window is a bit grey because every contract's different.
Right. But
could be a year, could be 1 month, we don't know.
For things like Call of Duty, it's a month, and mostly for that, it's like DLC. You get the DLC early, but the games launch around about the same time.
PlayStation have gone on a thing though where they buy stuff for a year.
Yes.
Like Destiny and stuff like that.
The idea that not only KOTOR, but all of these games just aren't coming to Xbox is
kind of big.
It's a big get for PlayStation, as if we needed any more.
Yeah.
Like, I actually kind of feel like we're doing Xbox dirty here because Xbox can't build anything themselves so far, it looks like.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully we're proved wrong. Hopefully Halo Infinite comes out, it's incredible. Hopefully Starfield comes out and Avowed comes out and they're incredible. And we're over here looking like, man, maybe I should get Game Pass because I don't have to buy these games to their full RRP, because who would? Because Xbox has a service where I don't need to do that. But, like, I would like the landscape to be a bit more even. Like, okay, on Xbox you have all of this stuff to play. On PlayStation you have all of this stuff to play. And as of right now, it doesn't really look that way.
No.
I have to say, it does feel a little bit harsh to have Star Wars as only a PlayStation thing.
Yeah,
that doesn't feel right to me.
I think it's a bit far.
Big get for PlayStation, but as a consumer, that doesn't feel right to me. Star Wars is for everyone, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was the KOTOR thing. When it was the KOTOR thing just by itself, I kind of felt like
Star Wars game.
Yeah,
okay,
I was like, it's not great, but it's only going to be for a bit, and it's one.
Yeah. It's
one. And now we're getting more stuff. Granted, I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to be too bothered by these older games coming. They're like ports of them. But some people might, and also you're still taking the opportunity away from people.
Yeah, and a lot of these games, by the way, are absolutely beloved.
Yeah.
But, the people that play them, there are people that still play these games,
Yeah.
So
yeah, so that's happening right there. I'll buy the collections because just Star Wars Racer.
Yeah.
Star Wars Racer,
Now,
son.
this is pod racing. Yeah, absolutely. The one Star Wars game I would love to go back and play is the I think it was PS1, or it may have only been on PC, the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's probably awful. Like, you know how in our heads we had that image of GoldenEye when we went to that one gameplay and played it, and it was not great. But I kind of want to play it. Yeah. I love the Phantom Menace. I love Naboo and young Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and stuff. Like, what a great freaking time. So that would be cool. Is that coming? I doubt it.
No, not yet anyway. Let me go to these because there were some people that wrote in on the podcast and whatnot. I'm actually gonna come back to them because there was a few things that I missed. I should have brought this up when we talk about the GTA stuff and whatnot. But we'll go back. There's questions here. Our next topic. There's a rumored PlayStation remake coming soon, and apparently will be announced in December. A remake of a PlayStation game.
Okay, because I thought, first of all, just to be clear, the rumor is that there is a rumor that there will be an unnamed PlayStation game remade.
The rumor is that I'm confused now. There's too many rumor words. There is a rumor that there will be a PlayStation remake announced in December.
A PlayStation game, a PlayStation 1 game remake.
Not PlayStation 1 game. No, it's a PlayStation game. Just of PlayStation, not a PlayStation 1 game.
So I feel like
how Horizon is a PlayStation game.
Yeah, you're right. Because I don't know why, but in my head I'm like, wait, there's a game about PlayStation. Like you're saying, a PlayStation game. I'm like,
I see what you mean.
Or did you mean like a PS1 game that's being remade, or like what do you mean? It's gonna be Gek. Yes,
bring back Gek, guys. So apparently there's this a musician who goes by the name of Ava.
Yeah, okay.
Who told an Irish radio station on like an interview that she made some music for a remake of a PlayStation game that's set to be revealed in December. Okay. Now, apparently after a bit of digging, some people found a tweet from a person making a game in Japan, and
God, the internet has autism, doesn't it? They find everything.
Yeah, they linked her daughter or something like that to him, and they were like, I bet they're working together. That's it. So apparently it could be Chrono Cross if you're a fan of that. Xenogears or Xenoblade. One of the could be that. Could be. No guarantees, but
I mean, it could be literally any game at this point. Yeah.
Exactly. But the thing that I wanted to take away from this is the December part.
Right.
Now, that can mean one of two things, in my opinion. One, either there's going to be a big presence at TGA's, the Game Awards, which happens in December 9th, or PSX is coming back.
That's what I was thinking.
That's where my mind went, and Sean, you can't stop me like you did on Twitter. I'm dreaming, and you can't stop it.
Realistically, PSX was probably 50% personality.
Yes.
So, on that basis, half the show's gone. But unless they bring someone on, though, they might have someone. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of hire no one's paying attention to. Yeah.
You don't, like, there were personalities before.
Right.
There were personalities that followed them. There'll be personalities in the future.
Right.
How do you know them until they happen?
Sometimes in their own space, people have personalities. Like, Mark Cerny is not Mr. Engaging speaker. Unless what you're specifically interested in is a tech deep dive.
Yeah.
In that case, give me more Mark. Right? So it could just be that they found someone that can do public speaking. Yeah. And they're like, hey, you need to take over for this thing. Can you do it? Yeah. Or, I don't know, I personally feel like PSX isn't going to happen until we see a personality. You know? That's my feeling.
Why do you have to ruin my dreams?
Because you don't want it. You don't want a PSX with like Jim Ryan.
Oh God.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you want that?
Sounds like nothing worse.
Do you want that? Worse, you don't want that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't want Jim Ryan presenting a PSX. So in that case, you don't want PSX. Do you see what I like? Because PSX is genuinely only 50% the event. It is 50% the personalities. And that, I think we've said it before, that's what PlayStation's missing. I have, as much as I hate Phil Spencer, actually, I don't hate Phil Spencer, I hate his presence, his presentation
The
style.
persona he puts on. Yeah.
I would love for us to have some people, like PlayStation community managers, at least for like the English speaking world.
Yeah.
You know, we can be like, oh my God, that's like PS guy. He's a personality and I can't wait to watch PS.
We had that. We had
yeah.
it.
Like we did have that. And that's what I don't want a PSX without the personality.
I feel you. I feel you on that.
Yeah. Although December is a very specific date. It's weird that you would pick then, especially there's not much PlayStation coming out.
Yeah,
The next
announcements don't
thing's
usually
February,
happen
right?
around that time because people are there's a lot of fight going on for Christmas time.
Yeah.
Usually you're in the whatever game has come out, you're trying to sell that.
Yeah.
Announcements. But anyway, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess TGA's is then. I guess it's going to be the Game Awards.
Yeah, it might have to be.
Still, it'll be fun to see what they announce.
Yes, it will.
But I just wanted to dream for a moment. Then.
Yeah. I didn't mean to trample on your dreams.
You've ruined it now. It's gone. It's gone. Our next topic. This is a funny one.
Okay.
So it's come to the end of the license, the agreement that FIFA has with EA regarding the name that they can use.
Okay.
So that's why Pro Evolution Soccer has to call themselves Pro Evolution Soccer rather than FIFA, because that's exclusive to EA.
Yeah.
Now it's come up to the point where they renegotiate everything and decide whether or not they're going to go forward with this relationship. And FIFA have gotten really fucking ballsy.
Oh God.
And they're asking for double the amount that they asked for before, which is over $1 billion every 4 years.
No.
And EA, you gotta imagine they're like, well, what the? Our biggest earner is FIFA Ultimate Team and all the packs that we can sell and all the nonsense like that. What the hell do we do?
They just call the next one Ultimate Team.
That's the business move.
Yeah.
But then
Except
somebody
the name FIFA. If Pro Evolution Soccer pick up thing, then they become FIFA.
Exactly.
And no one's really paying attention to, like, if that EA Sports isn't at the beginning of the game, no one's really going to miss it.
Exactly, that's the problem. It's when they go in, I want to buy the next FIFA. They don't care who made it.
Yeah.
It's FIFA. These people are buying FIFA, to be honest, in the first place. So they're mentally deficient anyway.
I mean, you said people, so you're already wrong.
Exactly. That's the incorrect description of what these things are.
Facts. Things.
I just think it's super interesting because this is a genuine massive change if it doesn't go through.
It's huge.
That's mad. That's like saying Epic Games is closing down Fortnite. That's how big it is. The amount of money that changes hands just because of FIFA, it's going to be wide scale. It's going to be huge.
I'm just Googling FIFA 21 sales. I don't know how much the game made, but I'm betting...
Well into double figures. Come on now.
What do you mean double figures?
Double figures in millions.
Oh, okay.
There's at least 10 people that are buying this game. Is there any clues as to how much they sell?
No, these are old things as well.
I don't ever hear of numbers. I just hear that they constantly do amazing. But
yeah, plus I bet there's a huge amount of revenue from the in-game stuff. But I don't know. $1 billion for every 4 years, so it's 250 million a year. I don't think maybe it does though. That's
the thing. Like, think about average cost of story games, right? The development of them are it was around about 100 million, sometimes less to 75 and whatnot. So this is more than double that, nearly 3 times the amount. I'll say 3 times because some games are less, more to around $70 million. So let's say 3 times the cost of that.
Yeah. They
have to develop a game every single year to keep up with the demand so they can sell and stuff like that. You're starting off at a massive disadvantage at every single game.
Yeah, you have to, minimum, you have to make $250 million
straight away
to get out of the hole before you started developing the game, which don't get me wrong, only costs 25p to reskin stuff and move people to a different team. But it can't be easy to have $250 million plus 25 cents to begin with to get out of the hole.
Yeah.
And there will be one year that doesn't perform like the rest and lets them down, you know, because that will just happen. I don't think
This is really bad. And I have to say, quite greedy on FIFA's part, because the reason why footballers get paid the stupid amounts that they get paid is because FIFA signs so many advertisement deals and gets so much money on the other side that they have to share all that equity and what they make. So they're trying to make even more money from gaming.
Yeah.
This is going to have a big effect, I think. So we already think that it's quite lazy what they do, which is just reskin the game and whatnot.
Yeah.
But to give them their fair shake, they do try and do as much as they can with nothing. There's not much you can innovate on in a football game anyway, but they try and do something with it each and every year to try and make it fresh.
Yeah, they add an extra FPS each game.
One more this year. Now it's at 52.
Right.
They try and do something every year, but costing them more to begin with is only going to force them to do even less every single year now. They're going to be like, well, if we do this, we spend $10 million, then we just won't do that.
Yeah.
It's going to be nothing.
What would be funny is if they say yes because they think, okay, overall we're still going to make a lot of money. It's still worth it to have FIFA. But they do phone in the next game, and then we hear, like in a year's time, the story that EA is bringing a lawsuit against FIFA to get their money back for the license because it isn't worth it.
Could be. To try and get out of the clause.
I'd love to watch these two soulless, awful corporations. FIFA is an awful organization. And look, you might love football, but FIFA as an organization, rewind. FIFA as an organization is atrocious. They do so much evil and just terrible stuff, and EA can get fricked. They just both of these organizations exist solely to milk you of money. That's it.
Do you know what I will say?
Why do you think kits change every year? Why do you think there's home and away kits? Like,
do you know what I will say about EA? They've always been really bad, right?
Yeah.
However, recent years, I feel like they've gotten a bit better.
I feel like they haven't been so egregious.
Yes.
So it's not that they've got better. It's that they've stopped being quite so bad.
Yeah. I feel like the Battlefront thing hit them quite hard.
Yes.
And they've learned a bit of a lesson.
Yeah.
They're not a no knight in shining armor. They're no what CDPR used to be with The Witcher.
Right, yeah.
But they're not as bad now.
Yeah.
And they've got more licenses, like they're greenlighting Jedi Fallen Order 2 and stuff like that. They're allowing people to do some work. So I feel like that's a little bit of a pass.
I think you're right.
And I think they might get forced back into microtransactions and making them even worse and pioneering the industry with terrible microtransactions because it might cost them a fucking arm and a leg to make the game.
I'll say this. I think the lesson that they learned was not to not frick people over. I think the lesson that they really learned was to put microtransactions in the places that it makes most sense and to target the idiots that will keep giving them money.
Yeah.
So FIFA's a great example of it. The packs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what people want to do. And Battlefront was a terrible idea because it based the game around pay to win, and that's what people didn't like. So now they know that people will pay for stuff as long as they aren't disadvantaged in the game if they do not. So as long as it's not pay to win, like the FIFA packs is just skins and stuff. It's not even skins, it's like cards. It's like online shinies and stuff. It's ridiculous.
It seems so stupid to me.
Right.
I can't understand it.
So I think what they're really doing is actually refining the way to milk you of money, to just rinse you like a flannel. But hopefully that will lead to like better game practices. I don't know. Let me put it to you this way. I don't ever see us saying, good guys, EA.
Good guys, EA.
Right?
Exactly.
With that said, I know it wasn't really them. It was DICE that made Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
But every time they've had an IP, in particular Star Wars, because it's one that's very special to most of us, they have done it justice.
Yeah.
They have really made sure that whatever came out the door for at least Star Wars was very true to Star Wars. Same with football. They saw garbage, they made garbage. Just here, take your garbage, you know? Like, that's what people want. That's what the raccoons give them the garbage, you know? That's all they want. So they're very true. They make... I don't know how much is actually on the EA side, but whatever they publish is very true to the big IPs that it's supposed to be true to, right? Yeah. So that's good, right? I guess. But I don't think we'll be saying good guy EA. Oh, wow, isn't EA pushing stuff forward? And I do think you're right that this will make them, incentivize them to cut corners, go back to the even shittier practices, and that we're going to see how much less interested in making a good product and more interested in getting your money that they are because of this. That's my guess.
I genuinely think that's the way it's going to go. And the problem is that they're not going to... The real bad guy here, FIFA,
yes,
isn't going to be the one to
catch the flag.
Exactly. They're going to be like, EA being EA again, guys. EA being EA. Typical EA. What are we going to do, eh? What are we going to do?
Because the thing is, the way these businesses view it, especially FIFA, which hit really hard because of COVID, really hard as if they can't survive, right, is going to say, we lost revenue on this. We need to make it back. It's our customers' fault that we don't have this money, basically. It's anybody that loves our products' responsibility to make sure that we make that money back and a profit on it for that missing year and continue to grow. That's how they view this stuff, because they're think Cyberpunk Soulless Corporation. That's FIFA pretty much.
Yeah.
You're right. They're the bad guys here. They're the reason that it's going to happen. Or they're the reason that EA is going to be exposed as only doing what they can get away with that you'll buy. And they won't catch the flack for it.
They won't.
They won't.
And it's only going to be highlighted even more because none of the rest of the gaming industry is affected by this.
Right.
No one else is going to be affected by it. They're going to keep making games exactly the way they have before. And it's just going to look even worse because you're going to have this monumental mess up on this side, and everyone else just like looking, what the hell is going on over there?
Silver lining.
It's just gonna be EA.
Silver lining. The people that all they ever do is buy football games. Yeah. You know the sort. There are people that only play like
Joe McCormack.
Right. That only play FIFA and Football Manager and Pro Soccer and all that shit.
Yeah.
Do they suddenly go, you know what? I've been playing this exact same game for 14 years. Let me hop over onto something else that isn't that. That doesn't just reskin like Call of Duty. And hopefully, if we do end up getting into like Battlefield, for example, which, fingers crossed, because it'd be cool to have a good like online shooter, because we're not just friends, we used to be gaming buddies as well. We don't really do online gaming so much anymore. It'd be good to have something to hop into. And do you want to be even better? FIFA noobs.
Yes.
Right?
They come over, they're
just going like 70-0 because the guys are like, where's the football? Trying to kick grenades and stuff. Trying to kick C4 back at people that threw it at them.
I don't understand. What's the gun for? It's a football game, right?
Right.
That's the only game that ever exists.
Like you're shooting and someone comes and slide tackles you and you just ice him on the ground.
Fuck.
Yeah, ow. That did almost 3 damage. That's really not cool. Pat.
Am I bleeding? No. But ow, though.
Yeah, ow. Exactly. So FIFA noobs, please come to whatever online game I'm playing.
Please.
Or I forget, did KOTOR say it had an online, it's the full online everything, right? Is there PvP in it?
I don't know, actually. I haven't played the original KOTOR game.
No, me neither.
Whatever was in there, I imagine is going to be in the remake.
God, I'd love some Star Wars PvP.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Give me, like, KOTOR, but let them speak to the guys at Insomniac, who made Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, yeah.
And guys. Take that dueling system. That actually hurt me to say. It gave me a little bit of a headache. But I would love, imagine, like, that level of fighting, of combat, but it's Star Wars, but you can force push the guy.
That would be cool.
Or
choke them, bring them here.
That's right. Just saying, if I was a Jedi, my chick's getting choked in bed.
Yeah, that's the primary use for your...
and it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, you can't always reach if you're trying to pop your head like a watermelon.
Exactly.
But you could if you were a Jedi.
See?
Right? Just saying.
I've always... I'm not going to say it.
I desperately want to know. Say it for the Conbros podcast next week.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna
write it down somewhere.
I'm gonna remember it. I will.
You definitely won't. Write it down somewhere.
Final thing, just little thing I wanted to mention. Apparently Sky TV has partnered with Microsoft to resurrect the Xbox KINECT.
Yay!
Everybody wanted it back, right? Everyone wanted it back.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Can you just edit in that? Do you know that kid? Yay! Yeah, edit that in because that's what people want.
That's what people wanted. Apparently, Sky TV are going to work out a box that
wasn't this one of the most hated pieces of equipment of all time?
Yes, very much didn't like it, and nobody liked it, and it was dead quite quickly.
Did you ever see those videos of people going like on crossplay games, like, "Oh, hey, I'm on PC. What are you on Xbox? Xbox, turn off.
Yeah,
like no. That was real. That was a real, like, I guess, bug or something where I can't remember how they fixed it, but they did. I think it was to do with it having to be like direct mic audio and not.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what they did, but that was a thing you could do. You just turn off other people's Xboxes.
So dumb. All right, guys, let's read a few comments from our boys who, well, I'm going to read first of all from our Patreon.
Over at patreon.com/conversations, where you can join over 50 incredible bros at many tiers.
Many tiers. Our boy Hooky wrote in to Patreon. He says, hope you fellas are doing good. I had a random thought while watching a YouTube video about MW2. And essentially it was about Activision making the Master Chief Collection type game containing COD 4, MW2 and MW3. And maybe like Black Ops 1 or something. Since the original games are practically ancient and it's near impossible to play the multiplayer modes on the original consoles, that's quite cool actually. Quite thought right there.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Obviously, Modern Warfare 3, that name just triggers me. I can't stand it.
It was pretty weird.
It was awful. MW2 would be sick. I mean, they did COD 4 remastered.
Yeah.
And
they did MW2 remastered as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I forgot. I didn't play either of them.
But he is talking about the multiplayer as well, so that'd be quite cool.
Yes, that would be the most interesting. Of those, Black Ops 1 is the one I would like.
Yeah.
I want just a slightly less greys and browns.
Yeah, put some colour in there.
Yeah, add more than 3 colours. But those games in modern graphics and with actual hit detection,
yeah,
I feel like Blops 1 would be a shout.
Yeah, I'd love to play Blops 1 again.
And I feel like if it came out again, I wouldn't stick to only the Olympia.
Yeah, you might. You know, the FAMAS was good, so you could try it. You could try it.
I might have to try it.
Yeah.
But
no. It sounds like a bad idea.
I really want a shotgun that does half the time doesn't hit at all, and 20% of the time the double barrels can't do anything.
1 meter range, no.
Right? but that game was actually very good and genuinely had some of the best maps of all time. Well, Nuketown. Yeah. Once it was made, it's in every single Call of Duty.
Every single one since.
And it's still loved. It's like if it comes up in rotation, it goes until it is kicked out of the rotation.
Yeah.
And Summit was incredible. There were a bunch of some of the best maps.
Yeah. And
best balanced maps. It was a really fun game just when your bullets were hitting.
Yeah.
I would love Blops 1 remastered.
I would too.
That would be good fun.
He continues to say, I want to know your thoughts on this. And although I'm pretty sure we all know Activision would just rather keep pushing Warzone battle passes and cheap skins, if they happen to make the game like this, would it sell? Thanks for all the content you make for us gamers. Much love from Hooky. P.S. Eddie, fix the fence. The other fence doesn't exist in my life. It's only that one, okay?
Have they seen that? How do they know that exists?
Adriana told them.
Oh,
she ratted me out.
Wow.
I'm living with a traitor.
Because that was always sort of my inside joke. They're like, he fixed the fence. I'm like, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
I know.
But Adriana told everyone.
Wow, ratted out.
Honestly, like you said, I think they'd rather just milk the Warzone thing.
Yeah.
I do think the other Call of Duties aren't anything. They're not trying with Call of Duty. They're just looking for Warzone now because it makes them so much.
Isn't EA partnered with these Activision to make COD?
No.
Didn't it used to be?
No. You're confusing that one, I think.
Okay, cool.
The thing was always like EA's Battlefield or
Activision's
that's
right.
COD,
that's right. That's right.
Like we said, it would be really cool for them to bring that back. I'd play the campaigns again for sure.
Blops 1 was incredible.
But if they could somehow do the multiplayer again,
that would be good.
That'd be a stroke of genius. And I think it would sell tons of copies.
I think it would.
Fuck, that'd be so good.
As a bundle as well, that would make sense. That would be okay. Or individually, I'd like Black Ops 1 remastered. And also, it might mean we can get the old crew back together.
That'd be really
because
good.
especially like Warzone, which I've literally never played, max 4 guys, but we could get 6 of us on at least, or 9 if we did ground war. You know.
Oh, sorry.
So that feels like a shout.
Yeah.
You know. Maybe we're just old though.
Yes.
And we'd get on it and get crushed and be like, man, the original was so much better than this.
I was going to say the two ways that it would go is either that or all the new people coming on here realizing you can't do all the same kind of trick shots that you can do on now games. And we're like, this is how gaming is supposed to be. All right.
Well, also because Black Ops 1, like Fishy was sniping on that. And he was saying that most people can't really get used to it because you can't instantly like snap up like you could in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2 Black Ops 1. All the MW2 guys were really struggling except one of our guys who's a freaking beast.
Yeah, when we say Fishy, not the Fishy that you guys
not
know.
Ethan.
Not Ethan.
Another guy who's just a freaking monster.
Exactly. In the pants. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Just an absolute schlong. Had to make sure when he stood up they didn't stand on it or he throws back out, you know, like trying to deadlift himself. That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's just us with the rose-tinted glasses.
Could be. Happens often.
But it's a remaster, you know. Like we're asking for the same game, just updated a bit. Like updated hit detection and updated graphics is all I want, pretty much, you know.
Over on our Discord server,
right.
you can write in just like our boy Spleen Bob Dingbag # Lima for Conmod. There's a lot going on in that.
There's a lot going on there.
Ratsin saying, how would the GTA trilogy work on mobile? Because also it's announced for mobile as well.
Why?
So we're going to pay, on top of it being $60 on PS4 and Xbox One, it's going to be $70 on PS5 and Xbox Series X for a mobile game.
A little bit of me is like, you know, with the Switch, we were like, oh, you could play The Witcher 3 on your way to work. You could play San Andreas on your phone, kind of.
Yeah.
But also, I'd rather play it on a Switch.
Yeah. He goes, surely Unreal Engine is going to turn it into a hand grenade, as in your phone into a hand grenade.
Right.
What do you think they'll change in the GTA trilogy, aside from the graphical improvements? Unsure of what my favourite gaming moments are, because I did ask people if they've got any favourite moments, feel free to put it in. Catalina in 3 was annoying but hilarious at the same time. The Doodoo in both 3 and Dodo, sorry, in both 3 and Vice City were infuriating to control, but it was fun to just kamikaze into cop cars. I hope they add neon lights to the VC remaster. That's a good shout.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for the 80s synth stuff,
Yes.
so would absolutely not mind that. Maybe with a photo mode. Ooh. That'll be good.
Except that the curse is you put a photo mode in it and that's all people do. Don't get me wrong, I really appreciate it. Someone that doesn't vibe with photo mode, I don't really care about it. I love seeing what the dudes who do like it come up with it all over my Twitter. It's freaking incredible. And our show and tell room on the Discord, genuinely my favorite room. So if you're not on the Discord, you want to do that.
I don't think they'll change much other than just the graphics of it.
I hope not. There's something pure about those sorts of games. And do you know what as well? And this is fair enough. They know the recipe.
Yeah.
Right? They know the recipe that works. All they have to do is just stick to the recipe. And to be honest, they haven't, in the last, 4 or 5 titles, they haven't made a bad one.
Yeah.
They made ones people prefer, but no one's going to be like, oh, Vice City's not good, or San Andreas isn't good. It's just GTA 5 is the most popular, right? So, man, I hope so. Also, that the neons would be sick.
That is a really good shout, because that's one thing that was missing from me that we just didn't notice, actually. Yeah. But it was just of the time, innit? And I think if they upgrade it and they put... If they do a good job with this remaster, remake, whatever they want to do with it, if they do a good job with that, I can't wait to see the side-by-side stills. If they go all out and make it actually amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I mean, I don't see how making these games, especially without an online component, because people are addicted to GTA 5 online, with no online component, it benefits them to make the games as good as possible, because then people are still thinking about GTA, and then what do they want out of GTA? Something new. Where do you get something new or something changing? GTA 5 Online, right? It benefits them to make these games as good as possible, I think. But then it would have made sense to make RDR2 Online as good as possible as well.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell with Rockstar.
It's hard to tell what the fuck they're going to do, right?
It's really
Listen
tough.
to logic and sound stuff. Have you got the things up there?
Yeah. The DC Watcher, aka Alpha Quillalilili. By the way, that's no joke. Here's a DC Watcher. He's watching the Adventures of Lois and Clark. Like that's Dean Cain from like the 90s. Also, by the way, my favorite Superman and Superman show because I think he did Clark Kent so incredibly well. Fucking love that show.
Can't wait for you to watch Smallville. You're gonna love it,
dude. He's a monster. He's getting through so much of this stuff. It's incredible. It's actually pretty impressive.
He's like, next week I'm gonna start Smallville. I'm like, are you gonna blitz through all of this already? Yeah. That's great.
Do you know as well? He has a schedule. He's like, I reckon I can get it finished by like October next year, because he has a schedule of all the stuff he's doing. It's impressive.
Good stuff.
I was very impressed with him. I'm gonna shock you. I played the start of GTA 5 and I wasn't a fan.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
We go.
Not GTA 5.
Got it. You got it. GTA San Andreas, get it?
Not GTA 5. I feel like I might like the older games, so I'll check them out. I've only played 5 and might have seen short clips of driving in the older games. How do you feel about the difference between 5 and the original trilogy? Are they quite similar or very different? Also, it's weird that 4 will just be there without being remastered. Does 4 hold up well? How about compared to the other games?
In terms of difference in terms of the trilogy, obviously storytelling got a lot better in my opinion.
Yes, it did, and like just not just graphically and the understanding of storytelling, but like visual storytelling. Yeah, it developed a lot.
And obviously, there's a lot of mechanics as well that went into GTA 5 as well. Like you have so many. You have the weapon wheel. You have so many different types of driving situations. The AI driving is so much.
There was a weapon wheel in Vice City.
The AI driving was awful in GTA 5, but still, there's a lot more advancements that come with the time.
Yeah,
and I do like the fact that it's 3 characters and they're telling 3 stories simultaneously that also then come back together.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of cool things there. The other stuff, the older stuff, is great as well.
Yeah,
I think you'll like it.
I mean,
wait for this remaster.
Vice City is basically Scarface. It's freaking great.
Yeah, thinking about it.
You get to play Scarface, the game, and enjoy that 80s music. I mean, again, it could be nostalgia. Like, if you guys don't, if we haven't like said it in detail, but we love GoldenEye, right, on the N64. It's like an iconic game for us that we grew up with. Yeah. And we went and played it somewhat recently on an N64, and it just was not what the rose-tinted glasses had in our heads. And we played it for like a minute, and then we were like, you know what? Because we've moved over to the new controllers, and the N64 controls a bit janky and stuff. We're not used to this. Let's just leave this in the past. Yeah, it's not right for us to play it now. It just doesn't feel right. It's going to taint our memory of it. Yeah. And a little bit of me is concerned that might be true for these other games. But I don't think so. I do think that GTA, like Vice City and San Andreas, hold up. It's just the graphics that would keep people out of it. Yeah. Like Halo holds up. We played Halo 1 in the original graphics and it totally held up. Yeah. Halo 2 in the updated graphics is better. Yeah.
But the story would still hold me.
Right. And so I do think that like Vice City and San Andreas will hold people's attention. And with the better graphics, I think it's a win. I actually understand the not liking GTA 5 intro. And I get potentially not liking the 3 storylines. It's more, I guess, engaging. There's more stuff going on. But sometimes I found that you, sometimes just as stuff was getting interesting, we cut away.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I hate that.
I feel you.
I hate that. And I understand the idea of like, leave them wanting more and wanting to know more about what's going on. But I feel like, while I understand that has to happen, they pick really bad times sometimes, you know? So that's that. Continuing on.
Yes.
Eddie, how are you finding Halo 2 compared to Combat Evolved? I've got a few questions for Sheps, but okay, let's do how are you finding Halo?
A lot better, actually. The first one it had seeds of a good thing in there. The whole thing with the Halo ring, finding out what it is, that was all great. It did fall a little bit empty. I was glad I played it, and I was like, okay, there's a good story at this. Okay, I feel like there could have been more to this, but it was the first in the franchise. It was just setting it up, and I feel like already 2 is already taken place of 1.
As at the time of you playing Combat Evolved, it's 20 years old.
Woo!
So it released in November 2001. So
Prime time of gaming.
but like, so
Yeah.
storytelling's different, and like what they had to work was different. And so a little bit of leeway there. You
Yeah.
played a 20-year-old game. You played a 20-year-old game in the 20-year-old graphics, and it was still pretty okay.
Yeah.
The Warthog was still great fun, right? Tell me that wasn't fun.
Slipping all over the gaff.
But I'm glad you're enjoying Halo 2. Halo 2 is my perfect game, I think. I
That's
love
the
that game
one.
so much. Let's see, there was more to this comment. 1 second. Some questions for Sheps, the master Halo fan.
There we go.
But he doesn't know the difference between 2. How dare you?
He doesn't know the difference between 2 and 5.
And he
Shake
did me
my
a
head.
Shep slap. Is Halo 5 untouchable? Should I at least check out 4 before Infinite? Okay. Here's the thing. Oh, fuck. It's up to you. I hate that that's my answer. I really wish I could say yes or no. I personally, a lot of people say Halo 4 is not nowhere near as good as like 2 and 3, but it's not terrible, and 5 is an abortion. I personally felt so underwhelmed and underserved with 4 that I had no interest in 5. It killed the franchise for me,
Right.
and I just said, okay, they never made any more after 3. Don't get me wrong, Reach and ODST are okay, but like Halo's 1 to 3, that's the way you do it. If you don't play, because I obviously found out about what happens in Halo 5, you probably need to know, but I haven't watched all of it. I'm going to go and watch the cutscenes so I know what happened in the game, just in case that it's relevant for Halo Infinite. As if I'm going to get an Xbox. But you know what I mean? Like, I want to know, I want to be part of the conversation. If it's good enough, Halo is a console pusher. I would get a Series X and play Halo. I would, if it was good enough and the campaign was good enough. I wouldn't play it. I don't think it's worth your time.
Yeah.
Also, like, my beef at the beginning, what he's talking about is at the beginning of your Halo 2 stream, there was the kind of Halo 5 promo clip with like a Spartan Lock and the Arbiter reminiscing about what happened in Halo 2, and then you cut to the beginning of Halo 2. The basic premise is they're after the Master Chief. You abscond with Cortana.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is set up in Halo 4, which is a good concept. Basically, Cortana is this massively powerful AI who's started to develop. She's actually sentient. She's developed a personality. She's, in that sense, a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
And she starts to like kind of be corrupted. And she starts to like go through, I can't remember what it's called, but because her personality's kind of breaking out of the code, it's like kind of eating herself in a weird way.
Okay.
She's kind of going crazy. And the whole premise is you're trying to find a way to fix her, or find like maybe forerunner technology that can help like piece her back together. And
sounds interesting.
It's a cool concept, especially because, as you'll come to find out, there is this weird romance with Cortana and Master Chief that can never happen because she's not tangible.
She's not a person.
Right, but they do clearly have this relationship, and they feel very warmly about each other, but it can never be. So it's very interesting.
Okay.
And then you're so let down because the game underperforms, you know.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does really suck. But it's a great idea. I was actually really interested in it as a concept, but 343, man, they just let me down. So
seems to be the prevailing opinion.
Yeah, and then what we do know from the promo stuff for Halo Infinite is that, like, I guess you don't make it in time, right? We found that out from didn't we? You said there's a new AI, so it must be Cortana's not around.
I don't know.
Or Cortana had to leave or something, right?
I don't know.
Personally, I really feel like most people, the best advice is to play Halos 1, 2, 3 and just pretend that they never made any more. Until Halo Infinite comes out and proves me wrong.
That's the thing. I don't know enough about Halo, but I I always saw it as they hold 1 to 3, 1, 2, and 3, I should say, to such a high standard. This is Halo.
Yeah.
And then it seems like they forget to mention all the other ones anytime they talk about them. So like 4, Reach, and 5 just don't seem to exist. So it would seem to me that Infinite would be either related to those beginning ones or standalone. So I think you're okay.
I suspect that Infinite will very neatly and very quickly and abruptly at the beginning tie up all that stuff from 5. Because the premise... So the premise is that you run off with Cortana, who's like functionally a super weapon.
Yeah.
She's the smartest thing she's smarter than anything the government has. Like, she's a super weapon, and you run off with her to try and save her because she's kind of your girlfriend. because we love Cortana, right?
We do.
And basically, this is just very basics. They send other Spartans after Master Chief because he's not the only one. That's who you were looking at the beginning. Spartan Locke is trying to track down Master Chief, which is why I said you don't hunt the Master Chief; he hunts you. I think in the canon, Master Chief is confirmed. So this is stuff people have seen him kill over 10,000 Covenant. There have been other people there to witness those kills. That's not the stuff he's done solo, like take out an entire ring and take out Covenant fleet ships and stuff, right? Like, the dude is a freaking badass. So that alone turned me off. Like, there's no way you're even a team of like 6 hardened Spartans. They're not the Master Chief. He is who he is for a reason, you know. In the end, should you play it? I think it will hurt you if you vibed with the characters the way I have, and I think you're starting to, and get the story and stuff. Even if they're okay is a long shot from Halo 2 and Halo 3, you know, and that kind of hurts. I don't think you're going to need to have played them for Halo Infinite when the campaign comes out in 5 years. You know? I don't think you're going to need it. And
so that's a no.
Yeah, I mean, look, do you? I think especially you, Alpha, you got a good taste and good opinion for these things. If you're going to play them, I would suggest get it as cheap as possible and be immediately willing to put it down if you see something you don't like and not ruin Halo for you.
And besmirch the good name.
Yeah. The second you see something you're like, oh, don't like that, just put it down. Return the game. You know, if you can do that feasibly, maybe you vibe with it. Maybe you really like it. Some people did. They're idiots, but some people did. You know, go for it. Playing Reach right now, and it's okay. Why do some people regard this as the best game? See, that's the thing. It is okay. Halo Reach is okay. Is it down to the gameplay or a mixture of that with the story? I haven't been impressed since Halo 3. See, there you go. ODST was not very good. I tend to agree. Reach is better, but the Noble team is nothing on Master Chief and Cortana. Side question, have you finished Control? I finished the main... Just to quickly wrap up Halo. Yes, you're totally right. See, I told you the man has good opinions. Halo 3, masterpiece.
Is ODST not with Master Chief?
No, ODST is okay.
The Noble team, he says.
Yeah, so, okay. Reach is like a prequel game. Reach is the first human outpost that the Covenant came into contact with.
Reach all the time.
It's the Fall of Reach. It's also a good book. And I think they made a YouTube short. It's like an hour-long movie. Cool. ODST follows an orbital drop shock troopers or shock team, something like that, ODST, group on Earth during the Halo 3 or Halo 2 invasion. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay.
But you're just random, you're just normal guys.
Okay.
You're elite shock troopers, but you're human.
Right.
When I got the game, maybe this is one of the reasons I viewed it so harshly, is it had Halo attached to it. And to me, Halo and the Master Chief are the same thing. Right? The brand Halo.
That's to me.
Right. And I don't even think there's a Spartan in it, or not until like the very, very end.
Shit.
So it's
pretty
okay.
crap.
Yeah. If it was just, hey, look at this sci-fi shooter. It takes place on Earth during a... Cool, would have been a good game. But it had Halo on it.
I was like, even if it just had the Orbital Drop Shock Trooper as the name, but then it got out, it's like, this is in the Halo universe.
Right.
So-and-so is running with this. Then at least you got the thing. But you put Halo on the name.
And I'm thinking Master Chief. He's not in it. The game's okay. Reach is okay. This is why I've said to you, because the worst thing that you can come up with is something that makes you go, Halo overall is okay. No, Halos 1 through 3 are great. The problem is there are a lot others. They made a bunch of okay games afterwards. And okay is okay, but not in comparison to great.
Yeah.
So that's why I've always said, like, they only made 3.
I'm curious to find out. Obviously, this might be a spoiler, so I'm not going to look at your reaction over that. But they're all named Halo. And we destroyed Halo in the first one. So why is Halo still around? I won't ask any questions, but I'm guessing something is going to happen with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
God, I want to say it so bad.
Also, ask a side question there.
Yeah, I will answer that just very quickly. What do you know about Halo from the game that you've played so far?
So I know it was a weapon, essentially. It was designed to wipe out the Flood, but the way it did it was just destroy every living thing.
Anything sentient.
Yeah. And I was like, that's a extreme. That's
Yeah.
Right. That's
Okay.
okay. How are we gonna do?
Cool. Just to be clear, you have been told. You actually do know. You were told, but I guess you haven't noticed the way it was. So you know the answer to that question.
Okay.
But I guess you just didn't piece the puzzle.
Maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch the cutscenes.
Yeah, or maybe exactly how it does it.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you, but I'm pretty sure you've been told.
Okay.
As to why it's called Halo 2 and not like Master Chief Returns or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Anyway, I'll find out. I'll find out soon.
Yeah.
I know.
And to answer the question, have I finished Control? I finished the main game of Control, yes, and I finished the Alan Wake DLC. I haven't finished that other DLC. What's the other one called? I don't know.
I didn't play the DLCs.
Yeah, I haven't played the other one. I know what you're gonna say, you motherfricker. I'm not gonna play the Alan Wake game.
Why are you playing the Alan Wake Remastered? Come on.
Because the Alan Wake DLC in Control was freaky enough for me, and it was good. I like Control, but I know for a fact Alan Wake doesn't have even close to the kind of powers Jesse has, and that was quite a reassurance to me. And I still shit my pants. I didn't like it. I'm not the horror kind of guy. Although weirdly, I kind of want to play things like Alien. What was that?
Isolation.
Alien Isolation. To me, that doesn't really feel like horror. Like Predator and Alien don't feel horror to me. They feel sci-fi. I know that's a weird distinction.
That is
to
weird
make.
because Alien is quite horror.
Yes, it is. But like, I don't like movies like, let's say, Friday 13th.
Yeah.
Friday 13th, and Jason and stuff like that. I don't really vibe with that. I do vibe with the Alien games and movies and stuff. So I don't know why that is. For some reason in my head, there's a distinction. Also, Dead Space, which is a horror, a sci-fi horror, but the sci-fi saves it for me. I like Dead Space 1 and 2. Pity they never made a third game.
Yeah, never.
But I haven't finished all the DLC is the answer to that. If you haven't played Control, by the way, the Ashtray Maze, the finale section of the game, masterpiece. That was so good. All right, cool. That's everything. Thank you, Alpha.
Do you mind if I read Scary Eddie's one?
Yeah, boy.
Scary Eddie writes in and he says Returnal. So he goes, so I've completed Returnal and got the secret ending as well, and I still have no clue as to what is going on in the story. I think it's one of those games where the ending is left up to interpretation. It took me around 24 hours to complete, including the secret ending. I do have a theory that Celine, which is the main character in the game, is in a coma and this is her fighting her way to wake back up. But I'm not going to say any more about the story because of spoilers. I really enjoyed the game, but the difficulty of the game is strange because first boss was very difficult. And then it got really easy to the point where I killed 2 bosses in one run. This is the thing. When you get in a flow, is one thing with every game.
Yeah.
However, when you find the right weapon,
you get the right RNG,
and then you get the right buff to your character, you get the right parasites that you stick on to give you the right perks and things like that, you can blitz through people. I had the same thing where I got stuck on the first boss. I died when I got up to him, which is like a trek to get there in the first place, and I had to go through it again. But then after I beat the first boss, I beat the second, I beat the third, and went all the way up to the 4th one, and then I hit another fucking wall.
Right.
And then I was like, I can't get it until I found the right weapon, and then I went into the 4th one, and I beat that one. I'm going into the 5th. It's like that. It's the perks and everything that you pick up, that everything just lines up perfectly. Yeah. And you get through all those bosses.
Can I just say Selena is such a freaking sexy name?
Yeah.
It's ever since what's that, Underworld or whatever it was with Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
I might have to watch that.
Oh, Kate Beckinsale.
I'm gonna have to. By the way, they made more of those movies, and they went very much like the Halo series. Yeah. Oh yeah. But Kate Beckinsale. And she stays in that suit, whatever, leather or whatever it is, latex. Who cares?
Can't argue with that. You
can't.
And he goes, in my opinion, this game isn't worth £70, the £70 price they asked for at launch, but thankfully I paid £50, which I think is more reasonable. Also, I don't think it's Game of the Year contender, contrary to what I said, because I think it is.
Do remember that these are the guys that made Resogun.
Exactly.
Right?
Fucking difference.
Yeah, it's like Insomniac making Infamous and then going to, oh God, I hate it.
Just so how much. It goes, you know?
Goes to Tsushima. I hate that. Actually is giving me a headache. I'm not even joking.
That's interesting to hear, bro. I do think I did like it a lot. I did think it's a great game.
Have you finished it?
No, not yet. Okay. It's again one of my things that's on the backlog. I will finish it before the end of the year so we can have Game of the Year discussions and stuff like that. But I did really like it, and I do really like it.
How are we going to have a Game of the Year discussion? All I've played is Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to put Ghost of Tsushima, the Iki Island expansion forward.
Cool.
That's
I just for best music, for best new game mechanic, for best, yeah.
So it won all the awards because I didn't play anything else. Done.
Right.
And he goes, on the GTA remaster topic, I am low-key hyped for the GTA Trilogy remaster, but I am worried about the soundtrack, just like you said.
Yeah.
In the games, because not long ago, Rockstar had to delete some of the songs from San Andreas and Vice City, maybe 3 as well, but I can't remember, from the PS2 versions of the games because of licensing issues. So I wonder if they'll add different songs or renewed the licenses of the old ones. Unlikely, right?
Super unlikely.
Especially because I'm sure this collection was in the making for a long time. And if they were going to make this collection, they wouldn't have let those things expire, or they would have worked out a new deal.
Counterpoint. They let it expire on the PS2 one because there's no point re-upping that license. But now they know for sure they're bringing these games out and that they're going to make sales. Maybe they do re-up it. But not. Maybe it doesn't go on the maybe it does go back on the PS2. Who cares? Because they have the license, or they can put it wherever they want. But just getting it because the bundle's coming out. Maybe they get it for like a 3-year window or something, because they suspect no one's going to play it after 3 years and make it cheaper. If that's the case, and my Vice City music is intact, I am going to pay £70 for Vice City alone. I can't justify it.
Yeah, it's a bad move.
Yeah.
However,
I would not tell you to buy all 3 of these games for 70. You know, it's up to you if you like GTA and stuff. I vibed with Vice City. That's my GTA when I think GTA. I'm going to pay 70 quid for it. Assuming the music's there. If all the music's there, I will get it. Just for I'm probably not.
That'll be a feat, I have to say.
Yes, it will. I'm not hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm not hopeful.
No.
Yeah. Especially because they know as well. They're going to pull a FIFA and be like, oh, you can't make Vice City and San Andreas without this stuff. Look at that. The
All
price
this
just
money.
went up. How weird is that?
That's the thing. These games in the back then, they probably got those songs for pennies on the dollar, and now they know their value.
Well, also
because so expensive.
Because like Guardians of the Galaxy made the 80s pop so much, like reminded everyone that those 80s classics never go away, right?
Yeah.
Whereas at the time, you're talking like early 2000s, like no one's really listening to 80s music because it's still recent, right? It's recent old music, if that makes sense.
I get the recent old music.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no one's listening to like 2008 rap.
No.
Well, unless it's like Eminem, but you know what I mean.
Except for me.
Except for us.
Final question they puts here goes, why hasn't Sony got Ben Studios or another studio to port/remaster Uncharted Golden Abyss, the PS Vita game, to PS4 and PS5 systems? It's the only Uncharted game I haven't played, and it's stuck on a dead system. How
dare you?
Just because the store is no longer accepting payments, and just because no one is making games for the Vita anymore.
And just because they don't make new Vitas and they're really quite hard to find.
Exactly. Doesn't mean it's dead, okay? God.
Point of contention.
Go on.
Why aren't they making the PS Vita anymore?
Mate.
Or the PSP.
PS Vita was... PS Vita and PSP as well. PSP was a great one.
PSP was great.
Way ahead of its time.
Yes, it was.
And I think that was only its problem.
Yes,
it started way too early. If it comes out now with an updated like internals, more powerful OLED screen, which already had an OLED screen back in the day.
Which, by the way, can we just say OLED screen back in the day?
Great.
Mate, that screen was better than most people's TVs.
Exactly.
No, that screen was better than people's TVs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come out today, kill. They would make so much money.
They would make a killing. I'm actually going to do some Googling about that.
They ported Gravity Rush to the PS4 and it even got a sequel. Why not Uncharted? That's a good question because it is the only one that's not on PS4 and PS5.
True.
Bring the game over. Let us play Golden Abyss, okay?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Man, I would love a PS Vita, like, limited run or something. Just bring it back.
Oh.
God, what good handheld device that just got slept on?
Yeah. Just got ruined. What's this? Okay, yeah. Apparently there are rumblings as well that soon there's going to be a Blue Box Games trailer for the Abandon the game coming soon. I'm kind of really turned off by that.
Yeah, so am I. I don't know about anyone else, so I'm still Googling PS Vita stuff. I'm genuinely interested. Who cares now?
No one cares anymore.
And I think we said this at the time, which was my concern, was that even if all of it turned out to be true, that the solving of the mystery was going to be way more interesting than anything that they brought out.
Yeah.
Even if it was a Silent Hill game and it turned out everything they said was correct.
Yeah.
That watching Sherlock solve the mystery is more interesting than who actually did it, you know? When did you say that was supposedly going to be?
Apparently soon. I've seen the Blue Box Games account, which hasn't tweeted anything since the last disastrous launch of the app. That apparently coming soon. There's going to be it's going to be a game, not a trailer.
Okay.
So it's going to be like, I guess like a demo, or it's a short game they're going to actually put on there. So
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. And then there's one more. Do you want to read Diogo's one? Or
Yeah, I can do that.
Diogo's comment.
Diogo. Lost Judgment update. I've completed the story and most side stuff. Got 2 quests left in about 60 hours. And my God, the story was so good. Honestly, people need to play this because it's such a blast trying to solve this case and the payoffs are just out of 10. Question. When do you think these GTA remasters are coming out? And do you think it's going to be digital only like the original report said?
There is that as well. Apparently it's going to be digital only, but we did see it on the base.com website. It wasn't... There's a weird thing. I'll show you exactly what it is, and I'll try and put it up on the screen here. The listing looks a little different.
Right.
So here it's got GTA 5 in PS4, Xbox One, 360, and it's the picture of the game case. But for the other one, it's got like a horizontal picture, almost as if like it's going to be a digital code.
So I suspect digital only, so they can get the most out of their sales, and no buying second hand.
True.
Right, for these old games, and it's the sort of thing where they don't want someone 2 or 3 years down the line going into CEX or whatever trade-in store and then seeing it, be like, oh yeah, I'll pick that up because I love these old games.
I love how they're selling more copies than any game has ever sold ever, and they're thinking, God, how can we also snag these 1 or 2 guys that are buying it second hand?
Yeah.
God, that's where we're really losing the money.
Right. The second hand market. On the Lost Judgment, though, 60 hours to do all of the stuff seems a bit meh to me. I just want to do 50 hours and no main mission.
There you go. Just is there enough side quests to fill Sheps' need to ignore the main story?
Is Lost Judgment PS5 only? Don't know. Is it next gen only? I mean, or current gen only? I think
it's on PS4 as well.
Oh, is it? Because if it was PS5 like exclusive, I'd be tempted to pick it up because I am craving something that I can only play on my PS5. I know it sounds weird and exclusionary, but
no, it's available across gen.
Yeah. I just, it sounds dumb, but
I don't think it does sound dumb. You know, I agree with you because that was the
I'm
whole
feel that
thing
way when
we was
Horizon
told.
comes out as well. Like I just, it doesn't feel like I have anything very much that I can only play on my PS5. Like that it's been like worth going to the next gen. It has been worth it, but I just wish I had a bit more. Like in the first year of PS4, there was a bunch of stuff that, you know, they didn't make PS3 games anymore. They were done with the generation.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wish they would be okay with doing that. And I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. And I'm in a fortunate position that I'm in where I have a PS5. But if I didn't, I would still be saying that same thing. I would still be playing my PS3 game saying, man, I cannot wait to finally get a PS4. Yeah. Right? Or vice versa, whatever. Oh, man. Frick.
Yeah. I guess we'll keep feeling that way until Forbidden West comes out in February.
Yeah.
Couple of months we gotta wait. I'm actually low-key excited as well for Elden Ring coming out in January. I've been following the Twitter account. It's less than 100 days now, and I'm just so fucking hyped about that.
I really want Elden Ring to be
real.
To be an actual thing, to come out. I would love for Elden Ring to sort of rekindle a fantasy element. You know, I feel like we haven't had a good fantasy game in quite a minute. Yeah. Like, when I think fantasy, Skyrim's one of the first things that comes to the forefront. I hope that the discussion becomes, can you imagine getting a game like Elden Ring for X, or for the PS5 or something, right? Because fantasy's a great setting, like magic and dragons and shit. Like, it's awesome. It's exactly the stuff video games are good at,
Yeah.
Like, let's do that. Let's do some crazy stuff. Or maybe like some alien that comes to Earth and can like fly and is immune to bullets and has laser eyes or something. Something cool like that.
Sounds good to me.
I mean, I know the idea needs work. Maybe give him some different powers. Like if he breathes really hard, he freezes stuff.
True.
Or like he can shoot little hymns out of his hand.
Yeah.
And they go and do stuff. They have the same power as him, but scaled down.
Throws like a cellophane S from his chest.
And like it ties people up.
For like a moment.
Yeah.
And then lets go.
And then it just lets go of them. Yeah.
Huh, that was a mild inconvenience.
Oh my God.
I do love that. It's just like he's inconvenienced for a moment where he's on the ground. It's like,
oh, I guess I'll just...
you
just unwrap it and then you're out. Oh, that's right. I'm a human, not a sweet. I can get out of this.
Solid move there, Superman. You got him.
You nearly foiled me, buddy. I mean, I know you're an invincible superhero, but this mild inconvenience, you nearly had me.
That got me there. Got me. All right, bro. That is the end of the podcast. Everything we had to talk about there. Hope everyone enjoyed it at home. Hope you guys enjoyed another episode. Remember, we've got True Game Plus happening again this weekend. Feel free to write in with your thoughts and your conversations about Kingdom Hearts.
That's right.
Remember as well, we're going to do the Kingdom Hearts drunk stream.
November the 6th, wasn't it?
November the 6th. Yeah. Sheps is going to be playing some more Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, yes, I will be every single day for 5 hours.
Every single day.
Next week, real announcement. Next week, it's a good thing we're doing this right at the end, like 2 hours in.
Perfect time.
Next week, Conbrosations podcast, we're recording it. It'll go up on the... When does that go up on the weekend?
Usually Sunday.
Yeah, that's Sunday. So next week, got Conbrosations podcast. So if you aren't on Conbrosations Patreon, patreon.com/Conbrosations, you might want to think of that. You get access to that for as little as $1 a month, plus the True Gamer Plus, which is supplementary. I don't care about your stupid solo shit. No, but for real, you get a lot of good stuff for just $1 a month, so you might want to consider it.
You do. All right, bro, let's kick it off here. Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you in the next one.
Why always? It was a pretty good outro, and then you went into slow-mo. It's like,
for those of you guys that don't know, there's this one character in Smallville.
Oh God,
she's running really really fast, and Clark goes over a water tower, and you see in slow motion her running through. It's like, I think we can end it now.
I think we can end it there.